Miss Madsen, you and the defendant were married for how long?
15 years.
I have a stepson.
But you have no other biological children?
No.
According to your complaint, Miss Madsen, your judgment of divorce provides that your former husband pay 1/2 of any unreimbursed medical bills.
Correct.
In addition to child support.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you pay in child support for your daughter?
$420 a month.
And according to your complaint, you have liberal visitation with the child.
About 30% of the time.
Give me the times. Is it weekends?
Wednesday overnight.
Of all of your visitation?
As much as I can.
Okay. Is that true?
He doesn't on all of them. The last 2-week visitation he had, he only took a week.
But most of the time is it weekends?
Wednesday overnight.
Of all of your visitation?
As much as I can.
Okay. Is that true?
He doesn't on all of them. The last 2-week visitation he had, he only took a week.
But most of the time he sees her every
most
week?
Of the time. And he's always there on time.
Good. All right, specialist in your area. The two of you go, have a professional in the area make a judgment as to whether this medical...
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I only take her to the doctor when she's sick, or when she's hurting, or when she's been prescribed by the doctor to see another professional.
Either stop it, or you'll lose that kid. Because I'm not going to play no more games.
Matter of Ireland versus Sin City. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated.
All right. This is an action for breach of contract, as I understand it. Miss Ireland, do you say that you signed a contract with the defendant's company to appear in 6 videos, or 6 movies? Excuse me. To appear in 6 videos over a 6-month period, and you did not appear in those videos, you want to be fully compensated for that
That is
contract.
correct, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
For the most part, yes. That was a minimum of 6 videos that I signed for. I signed an exclusive contract with Sin City Entertainment, which kept me from making movies with any other company. And when I received no compensation for being exclusive with this company, and they put me in no movies of any kind, let alone the minimum 6 required for the contract, I have been forced to take this kind of proceedings.
May I see the contract, please?
Yes.
Who prepared this contract?
Mickey Blank's,
Is that you, sir?
Yes, it is.
yes, I'm sorry, his secretary, I believe.
Is this your standard contract?
No.
Why not?
Well,
The reason I'm asking you this, but your name is Blanks?
Blank, B-L-A-N-K, Blank.
Mr. Blank?
Yes.
The reason I'm asking you that question is, this is the most inartfully drafted contract that I've ever read. Now, so why wasn't she given your standard contract?
Okay. We don't have a standard contract. What that instrument is an agreement between an artist and our company.
Well, an agreement is a contract.
You can use the word contract, yes.
Of course.
Okay. We don't feel it's a formal contract as such. What this does, it benefits both the artist and our company by pulling our efforts together.
Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to point out that there was 2 other girls that were put under contract at the same time as I, and they have identical contracts to these.
This doesn't say it's an exclusive contract.
In the first line where I've highlighted, I believe it does say it's an exclusive contract between Sin City and myself.
Well, but that word is unclear. I mean, that is an unclear, I don't know what an exclusive legal and binding agreement.
It binds me from being able to work for any other companies.
That's
So for that 6-month minimum period, I was not allowed to
Was
do
that
any
your
work for other
understanding, sir?
companies.
No. No.
What was your
Okay.
understanding?
At no point did we ever stop Kylie from working with anybody. My understanding of this agreement, okay, is as such. Sin City is a very top-of-the-line company in the adult entertainment field. We put out roughly 6 to 8 features a month. And the purpose of this contract was twofold. It benefited us and it benefited Kylie as well.
Why didn't you use her services?
What transpired, and if I give you a little bit more background on the situation, Kylie is an adult entertainer. She's one of the top entertainers in the industry, and she does very, very well. I'm sure the lion's share of her income is not generated by making adult videos. I'm sure that's through dance tours and all the other type of work that she does.
Is that true?
To an extent, yes, Your Honor, that is true. The reason he's going to tell you next that I went out on tour, and the reason that I went out on a dance tour is because they had no plans of using me in any movies and were not giving me my contracted money per month as they should have been. So I was forced to go out on tour to dance to make some income.
Well, they don't guarantee you to pay $1,000 a month.
They guaranteed that they would put me in one movie, which would contain at least a minimum of one scene, which would pay me a minimum of $1,000 per month.
But they could, for instance, have given you 4 movies in 1 month. Would that
And then they would have had to pay me more.
This is a very poorly written contract. Do you have a lawyer?
Yes, I do.
Did your lawyer read over this contract?
Yes, he did.
Before you signed it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, he did.
And advised you to sign it?
He said that it was a legal and binding agreement, being not very official looking or not, it still bound me to exclusive contract work with this company, and that I should honor it if I was going to choose to enter into it.
Anyway, I'm going to let you finish, and then I'm come back to you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, basically, what I'm trying to bring out is our industry is very unique to itself. Okay, Kylie will, I'm sure, makes the lion's share of her income, not through making videos, but through her touring and her fan clubs and all the other type of work that she does. What the video does is keep her out in front of the public, okay, and working for Sin City, which is a very prestigious company. It adds that much more credibility to who she is and what she does. Kylie is at the top of the industry and dealing with a top company. At the time, it created a bunch of hoopla. She benefited greatly from the publicity. Right when she signed, we had a very large party honoring one of our movies, and we invited everyone from all over the world, all the press and everyone. And even though the party was honoring this movie, Kylie and some of the other girls who were under contract with us, were under this agreement with us, benefited greatly by it. Her picture was all over the magazines in this country.
So why didn't you use her?
What happened was, roughly about a month after the contract was signed, we had a trade show. And at that point, our company took a change of direction, and they put a new person in charge of production. And he's no longer there, by the way, but he was going off in a different step. We would have liked to use Kylie, but Kylie had obligations to dance and what have you.
Just a minute. About a month afterwards, you had a change of direction. What does that mean? Explain that to me.
We had a change of personnel. We hired a fellow named Ed Powers, who's very big in this industry, to do our productions. And Ed was going to take the company in basically a little bit different direction. Okay. However,
why you keep saying that? What kind of different direction?
Well, at the time we were doing a lot of features that were meant for Playboy and Spice Channel. Ed wanted to do stuff that was more reality-based type features, but we still would utilize Kylie if the conditions were correct. Kylie was.
What conditions?
If she was available, if it was there to be had. When I say if it was there to be had, no, if we lost communication for a period of a couple months, and it's not our job to hunt people down if they don't communicate, if they're not there on us.
Well, do you have a phone number for her?
Yes.
Did you call her and say you have to come back? We have a film for you to do?
Not personally, no.
Did anybody that affiliated with you that you know of contact her within the first month, second month, third month?
I'm sure there was some correspondence, but I'm not aware. I couldn't give a specific date.
Did you have any correspondence with them a month afterwards, 2 months afterwards, 3 months afterwards?
I called Mickey. I called several other people at Sin City Entertainment, trying to see when we were going to shoot a movie, when we were going to do some more projects together. I was anxious. Like Mickey had said, we'd done a lot of promotion. We had been pushing the fact that we were now working together, Sin City and Kylie, Ireland, and we were going to make big projects, and we'd done all this hoopla, and nothing was coming out of it.
Later on Judge Judy.
Adult film stars are not complete and total bimbos, that a lot of us do treat this very professionally, and that it is a business, and although we may be having a lot of fun doing it, take us seriously.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Adult movie star Kylie Ireland claims producer Mickey Blank and his production company reneged on a deal to star her in 6 movies.
I kept calling and calling. Mickey is trying to say that he had a hard time reaching me. That is physically impossible because I carry on my person all the time a 800 paging system. So Sin City can call me toll free. It reaches anywhere in the United States and it can get me at any time of the day. He also had my current home phone numbers as well as my cell phone numbers, so I was totally reachable. And one other thing I did do, and I still do this for my current company, I'm signed with a different company right now, VCA Pictures, is I make a schedule and I fax it to my employers each month, which lets them know when I'm scheduled to be dancing at this place or doing this bookstore signing.
Did you fax that to their company?
I have faxed copies of it to Mickey Blank, to Gigi Appleton, and to Mark.
We received one calendar that I'm aware of, and you were booked for the entire month.
I always send them in groups of 3 to 4, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I was only aware, and I was there at the time. I only received one for 1 month, and you were booked for
How
the
many
month.
times did you have feature films during this 6-month agreement that you wanted to use her in?
Well, good question. Right after that time, I was changed to a different position.
So the answer is you don't know.
The answer is I don't know.
Well, she says that you only, according to her, contacted her once. And that was towards the end of the 6-month period. So she's giving you that. Now, why didn't you do that film?
Because they gave me 1 day's notice, Your Honor.
Do you know about that, sir?
Yes, I didn't know it was 1 day's notice, but I do know that there was some correspondence, and Kylie expressed that she was upset with the situation. So we kind of said, well, we have work for you. Would you like to do this?
Tomorrow.
I don't think it was 1 day.
In the contract, Your Honor, it states that I'm supposed to be offered first choice of the pick of the best of the movies, and they never called me, and I feel that them calling me 1 day before the project was to be shot is not only very unprofessional, even in the adult industry, but it was, well, shocking for one, but I think I was a replacement more than given the first choice.
Let me ask you this, sir. What I'm hearing is that shortly after you signed the plaintiff to this agreement, and it is loosely written, it is a contract,
Yes.
and it says you're going to use her 6 months, with an option really for another 6 months. You'll come back after 6 months, but for that 6-month period, she was supposed to work 6 films.
Right.
And I gather from what you're telling me, shortly after you signed this contract with her, your company hired and then took on a different direction from being films that were made for like Playboy Channel. You were going into reality. Do you know what that? I'm not going to go into that.
Right. Well, reality-based.
This is a family court.
Right.
Reality.
Right.
And then that person, for what is no longer with your company. Is that right?
That's correct.
So that for that 6-month period, am I to assume that Sin City Productions was sort of in a state of flux?
Not exactly. When I say we took a different course, we still made features. We still had films we were putting out each month that we could have possibly utilized Kylie in.
Well, then why didn't you?
What transpired was we lost the communication.
Well, but you don't know that, sir. You can't tell me. She sounds like a... Listen, she may be the star of adult films. Sounds to me she's the star of adult films who has a very organized business sense.
Yes, she does.
Right?
Thank you.
This to her is a business.
Absolutely.
She's got an 800-pager so people can reach her all the time. She faxes, and I believe her when she says that. She faxes her schedule to the production company so that you know where she is at all times. So she's not some airhead.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We make it sound like Sin City wouldn't have benefited anything from having me under contract, though, and that amuses me.
Oh, don't
My
get me wrong.
movies sell very well, and you guys would have made a lot of money.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Filmmaker Mickey Blank says he couldn't honor a deal to star actress Kylie Ireland in 6 sex films because he couldn't find her.
If you were making feature films, is it because this new person that you had decided that he didn't want to use this particular talent, that he wanted to use some other kinds of talents to make these reality movies?
Well, yes and no.
Well, even if it's partially yes, you're stuck.
Okay, well, let me clarify what I'm saying, okay?
Okay.
First of all, I do agree with you. Kylie is not an airhead by any means whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
She's highly successful, and she's at the top of her field, and deservedly so. But we feel it's not our job to track a star down. We make an agreement to make movies, okay?
What, are you supposed to check in with you every day?
No, let me finish my sentence, please.
Yeah.
Often I did.
Okay. Well, what we do is, okay, one schedule I did receive, okay, was booked for the month. Okay, the following month, I can't say firsthand that I saw any kind of schedule fax whatsoever. To my knowledge, it wasn't, because I did have communication with the fellow who was in charge of production.
Well, if you had communication with the person who was in charge of production, I'm going to let you offer this one piece of hearsay, sir. How many times, and I think you're an honest person, how many times were you told that they tried to reach the plaintiff to do a film and could not?
I don't have an answer for that.
That's the issue. It would seem to me, and I'm a lay person, this is not my industry, this industry, or theatrical industry, but it just seems from a common sense perspective. I am a producer. I have a film that I want to produce. I have a talent that I want to utilize. I pick up the phone and I call that talent, either at a home or at a 1-800 number that she has so she can be beeped all over the place, and I say, I have a film that I want you to do next week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. Right? It would seem to me that the talent doesn't call you periodically because she might miss an opportunity. If the responsibility was hers and she, for instance, called you every 2 weeks, well, it was the odd week that the opportunity arose, and you're suggesting that she is to be penalized for that. No. It's the person who is producing these films who picks up the phone and says, I got a film, want you to do it, could you do it? And you can't tell me that anybody called her and said that, with the exception of this one time, the end of the contract. Am I correct?
Well, not since the beginning of the contract, also.
Well, I believe her.
Can I read you something?
Sure.
I brought along some of the magazines that covered the whole signing of the contract girls to Sin City. Most of them are AVN Magazine, the Adult Video News.
No, you don't have to read them to me. I have one question for you. Don't read them to me.
Are you
As
sure?
a matter of fact, I'm absolutely positive.
Okay.
Because they're really not relevant to this contract. I mean, I understand.
There's just a quote in there from Mickey Blank that I think you would find quite amusing.
Well, what does he say? All right. Just one quote. One quote. I'm always pleased to be amused.
It's called Ashley and Ireland Take Up Residence in Sin City. Mickey Blank, the general manager and self-described honcho of Sin City, couldn't be happier. In a move which he calls both fortuitous and a reflection of our new, more upscale image, the company has signed super starlets Caitlin Ashley and Kylie Ireland to exclusive one-year contracts. We're very fortunate to have two of today's biggest stars working for us, says Blank. The girls were looking to sign exclusive deals, and we were looking to do the same. The timing was just right for everyone.
So why do you think you weren't called?
Your Honor, I really have no idea. That's why I'm standing here today.
Was the other gal who signed this kind of contract used during that 6-month period?
Neither of the other two girls were used, and one of the girls did take the case to court, and right as she says, as she was walking out the door, Sin City called her up and called her to the offices to go make a deal. The other girl just blew it off, which is what many girls in our industry do, which is very upsetting to me, and which is why I'm actually taking the steps to stand up for the little people, I guess you could say.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Blank,
Yeah.
I understand that what happened to you was a change in company direction. Whether you had control over that direction, I'm not sure, but it's your company, so you're the one who's got the deep pockets. It seems clear to me that you did not comply with the terms of the agreement that you made with the plaintiff, with the possible exception of that one final film, because it doesn't say that you'd be given a certain amount of notice. However, your contract provides for 6 films over a 6-month period, which is $6,000. The limit of this court is $5,000. So even if we deduct the $1,000 for that one particular film that was offered to you and you rejected, that brings you down to $5,000, which is really what you're suing for. I believe you're entitled to that under this breach of contract, and I'm awarding $5,000 to the plaintiff. Thank you.
Thank you, Your
Parties are
Honor.
excused. You may step out. Back door to Your Honor, this is case number 377 on the calendar in the matter of Swarthout versus Lee. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Two of you were involved, according to these papers, in the making of a movie, a short movie. You were a student, sir?
Yes, that's correct.
Got together some money, a budget of about $50,000, and you hired
About 63,000, Your Honor. Yeah.
63, it's even better. You hired the defendant.
No, I didn't hire her.
How did you come together with the defendant who also worked on this movie?
I'd known Miss Lee for a number of years when she lived out in Malibu. She had been a number of short-term jobs in the show business industry, and I knew that she had produced a short film prior to this. She had some experience doing it. So I asked her if she would volunteer to work with me, and she was quite enthusiastic about
But you
making
also
another
paid her.
film. No, I did not pay her.
There was some sort of payment involved.
No, none. This is a student film, Your Honor. Everybody, the key people are working for free on this for the experience and for the credit.
What do you do with the $63,000 that you gathered?
This goes for 35mm film, to rent Panavision cameras, to rent very expensive equipment. Right.
And none of the actors who were in the film were paid either?
None of the actors were paid.
Okay. According to your complaint, she was co-signatory on the bank account that was set up to deal with the $63,000, and also did some of the purchasing, etc., for the project, and that she took without permission money from that account and also failed to repay certain loans that you authorized. Is that right?
That's correct.
Well, tell me about it.
We went through the class together, jumped all the hurdles, started making the film. We were chosen along with 4 other teams at UCLA to make the movie. She volunteered her apartment, the front living room of her apartment, to use as production headquarters. When the thing was getting going and underway, we got involved in the casting. She was helpful on that, working full-time. She had quit her job, her full-time job, after a pay dispute with her last boss. We got involved in the making of the film. I'm suing her on 6 different counts today for this equipment that was missing. I had to buy her a fax machine. She did not have one. I set up a fax line for her, a producer's manual, as well as a little accounting machine that she wanted. Miss Lee then sort of went Hollywood on us, unfortunately. She started taking herself to women in film luncheons. She took the other producer. She went to a full-day women in film seminar for $175 for networking purposes that had nothing to do with our motion picture. She went out to the Shambhala Wild Animal Preserve and bought $80 worth of personal souvenirs from our star, Tippi Hedren, a book about Shambhala and a film that Tippi had made. Had personal souvenirs, had nothing to do with this motion picture. As we were moving closer to production, she asked me to borrow the first month's rent, or February rent. I reluctantly agreed, but she was using her living room as a production office, so I said, okay. She asked me the same thing in March, the next month.
How much was the rent?
$500 a month.
So that's $1,000 that you
That's
say is a loan.
$1,000 loan. The notations are right on the checks that she wrote in her handwriting, saying...
I assume you have the check.
Yes, I do.
Because the first few things that you're talking to me about, well, with the exception perhaps of the fax machine, which is expensive, you're really talking about change. You're talking about $80 and you're talking about $100. You know, I mean, I know those are little things. But here we have... Wish I could see without my glasses. But I can't.
And it says her notations on the bottom saying, loan to Michaelina.
Uh-huh.
Not a gift.
Mm-hmm. Well, that you have to...
That's her handwriting.
I see that. Okay. What else?
During the course of the production, the actual 7 days of filming, Michaelina dipped into the petty cash accounts and was treating herself to extra meals on the way home from the set. Most serious, I caught Miss Lee stealing money from the production account. I noticed on March 6th, with a quick check that I did on my ATM machine, that on the second month's rent that she took for $500, which I had agreed to, she tacked $317 onto this. I asked her what the extra $317 was for, and she said She had some personal bills to pay that month, and she didn't want to break a certificate of deposit that she had in her savings account. She didn't want to lose the interest. I yelled at her and told her to put the money back in the account immediately. 1 week later, she wrote a personal check for $400 and put the money back in the account and said she would not do it again. 4 days later, she started stealing from me again. She had her own private account at the Bank of America. She linked her credit card to this production account and started making unauthorized cash withdrawals. This happened 5 separate times, from amounts ranging from $20 to $120. When I caught this belatedly, because your bank statements come in 2 weeks later after the month, she wrote another check, personal check, for $100 to put the money back in the account. And that very same day she put the $100 back, she wrote another check to cash for $70. With the $500 that she put back in the account, she is still $127 short on personal monies that she took out. I called all 3 producers together. Miss Lee handed me over all the receipts, unsorted in an envelope that we've been trying to straighten out since, and she was relieved of her financial duties. I have been trying to clean up this mess ever since.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you found that he was, as you say, futzing around and not doing things quickly enough, you say, goodbye, I have to go get a job.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Filmmaker Miles Swarthout says producer Michaelina Lee embezzled money from his film budget.
All right, Miss Lee. That's a long story.
It is.
However, I have certain checks that clearly indicate a loan.
That's true.
And I looked at your answer, and not only do you have an answer, but you have a counterclaim. That's I was not impressed with. But your answer says, well, they really weren't a loan.
That's correct.
Then why would you write loan on the check?
At the time I took them, they were going to be a loan. Then, because we were also supposed to, by the way, we didn't rent a Panavision, we rented an Aton, just so everybody knows.
Well, it's from Panavision.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway.
Type of camera.
Anyway. Hey, shut up.
Hey.
I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, we were supposed to film the movie in January. Okay, I don't have a trust fund. I got to work for a living. I've already done this once. I don't need the practice. I'm not a student. I mean,
so
I was a student.
Just a minute.
Then
what did you do it for?
Out of friendship to him.
Baloney.
No, not baloney.
Oh, Miss Lee, listen to me. You don't quit your job and go into a project where you know you're not going to be compensated financially out of friendship. You know, you're not 18 years old. Mm-hmm. So don't give me a lot of baloney. Make sure when you talk to me, I don't want to hear from you now. We gave you time, uninterrupted. When did this $1,000 become a gift rather than the loan that you originally said it was?
The first one became one in the beginning of February, right after I took the loan, and the second one became one almost immediately after I took that loan, too.
Well, explain to me how that happened.
He said, you're doing such a good job, you don't have to pay it back. And also because of the fact that we were supposed to shoot the movie in January, but he kept putzing around and changing the script, and he couldn't make up his mind which actress he wanted, and it was going on and on and on. That, I mean, I don't have a trust fund. I got to get money somewhere, and I couldn't work because of him.
Oh, no.
No, it was full time.
Miss Lee, we don't have servitude in this country anymore. So if you found that he was, as you say, futzing around and not doing things quickly enough, so you were going to be out of work for a longer period of time, you say, goodbye, I have to go get a job. Don't tell me you don't have a trust fund, which you've intimated in your answer says, well, he has a trust fund, so he doesn't have to work for a living. You are a grown-up lady, and if you didn't like the ground rules, all you have to do is say, listen to me, Miss Lee. I seriously question whether this man, who has kept to every last penny monies in his head, monies that you have allegedly taken in an unauthorized fashion, said to you, you're doing a great job, I'm going to forgive the loan.
Well, I have a witness.
Let me hear your witness. First, I hear witnesses' names.
Oh, excuse me. My name is Terrell Lewis. I was a production assistant Swarthout. We went, myself, Mr. Swarthout, Michaelina, and the other producer, Mr. Swarthout. We went, myself, Mr. Swarthout, Michaelina, and the other producer, Miss Green. We went out to dinner. I rode with Mr. Swarthout to that dinner at Jerry's Deli, and he did inform me that he was paying Michaelina's rent because she wasn't working. She was paying his rent and helping her with his tuition, to that dinner at Jerry's Deli, and he did inform me that he was paying Michaelina's rent because she wasn't working. She was paying his rent and helping her with his tuition, with her tuition for school.
It was a school.
Tuition is one thing. Tell me the words that you remember that he said, sir.
As best as I can remember, he said, Michaelina hasn't been working. She's been working on this production all day. I've been helping pay her rent and helping her pay her tuition.
Okay. That doesn't say it wasn't a loan. But I understand what you're saying. He did, in fact, help you pay your rent by allowing you to make these loans. Have a seat. Is there anything else you want to tell me?
No.
Good. Have a seat. Thank you. Go ahead. Next.
Where were we?
Let's go
on the loans?
let's go to the fax machine.
Oh, the fax machine? That was supposed to be a thank you that I said, you know, I have to do this with a fax machine. I don't have one. You have to buy one for me, and I get to keep it. And he said, yeah, no problem.
Did you ever tell us you could keep the fax machine?
I agreed to. I said it was going to be a gift to her if she'd done a good job on the production. I had given her a gift beforehand. I gave all three producers $85 free years gift memberships in Independent Filmmakers West for the good job they were doing before we started.
Mr. Swarthout, listen to me. It's really important that when you tell a story, especially when you appear to have a favorable response from the person who's hearing your case,
right,
that you don't embellish the truth. You did make her the gift of the fax machine. I cannot envision you saying to her, I'm going to make you a gift of this fax machine if you do a good job on the production. That's not the way it's done out here in Hollywood, because everybody's very touchy-feely. Nobody would say that. You would say, you're going to have fax machine as a thank you. Right?
No, I did say that, sure.
No,
we were working on the incentive plan.
No,
here.
you didn't. No, you didn't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She got what she was working for. She got the publicity.
But no one wants to see the movie.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Student filmmaker Miles Swarthout says he used his own money to make a motion picture and that his producer, Michaelina Lee, stole from it.
Now, you took out money from this cash account.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were treating it as your own personal piggy bank. You were doing that even though you may have been putting money back. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's correct.
But you were treating it as your own little private thing. You needed 20 bucks, you took 20 bucks. So you said to you, better put it back, and then you put it back. And then you took another 50 bucks, and then you put back 30 bucks. Or you put that back 70 bucks. But you were treating it like a personal checking account. Right?
To get gas money to do his film.
No,
Yes.
Miss Lee.
Yes.
Well, if you were putting it for gas money, that's a legitimate thing that you can write
Yeah.
off to the company. We're not talking about that. We're talking about if you needed pocket money and you were a little short, you took out money and then you put it back.
Well, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Little teeny bit.
Miss
But
Lee.
most of it was
Miss
for
Lee,
gas money.
Miss Lee, the problem is when you take out a little bit, you see, and you're not 100% pure because you are using it in an unauthorized manner. Put your hand down. And you also feel as if, listen, they're using my apartment.
My car.
They're using your car.
My phone.
All with your permission. Right?
The permission was only given for the first couple months. It went on for 6 months.
Say goodbye.
I couldn't. I was enrolled in the class.
Say goodbye to the class. say goodbye. I mean, you're not a 20-year-old student. Say
I'm not.
goodbye to the class. Say goodbye to the project.
You're
That's
right.
what happens when
I'm
you
not-
make a film, Miss Lee. I mean, I'm not a professional in this industry, but you hear all the time. Right,
Judge,
Bert? It goes on, and the budget was $1 million, then it turned into $30 million, then it was $30 million, it turned into $100 million. It was supposed to take 6 weeks, it took 6 months.
The
You
next
hear that
film
all
I
the
did
time.
came in on time and on budget.
Well, you must have been dealing with some genius, because it
No,
never happens.
he was normal.
Miss Lee, if you're saying that the plaintiff wasn't normal, then you say goodbye.
You're right.
So you're right. Now, also, Mr. Swarthout, is this the first film that you've done?
Yes, the first one I've directed.
Then you should know this. Budget is a very difficult thing, and if you think that any judge is going to sit and go through $11.17,
Right.
$20.19, $33.14 to try to come up with the exact figure that you say this lady owes you, you got another thing coming. It's part of the package of making a movie that you have to figure certain expenses. Petty cash is that what we're talking about, petty cash. Now, what you did was wrong, but I'm not going to go through all this to figure out who owes who $20. You understand that.
Right.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, she clearly owes you for her rent. $1,000 for her rent. She clearly owes for that. And as far as the fax machine is concerned, which is the only other major expense that you told me about, I believe that you gave her that fax machine, as probably well you should if she allowed her home to be used as the hub of your production. So I'm discounting that. Now let me just address for a moment your counterclaim.
Okay.
Because I will address it very briefly. In order to be able to counterclaim, you have to have an agreement. And you had absolutely no agreement with him with regard to your phone bill, with regard to rent for your apartment, none whatsoever. Because you're counterclaiming for rent, a couple of $100 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever discuss that with him?
Yeah. It was on our original budget.
Rent for your apartment?
Rent for the office in my apartment.
That he signed off on?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Oh.
I don't think so.
I'd love to see that.
I don't know if I have it. I brought everything except the original budget.
Can't help you there, Ms.
Yep.
Lee. Got to tell them, would you have written loan on your check for rent if rent was included in the budget?
No,
And with all those documents that you have, and the main thing that you're asking for here is money towards your rent, your countersuit is for the rent, and that's the one piece of paper you didn't bring where he agreed to pay rent on your plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy,
Back door to your right, please. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Johnson, according to your complaint, sir, you and the defendant were dating briefly. She had an accident in the car she was driving. Is the car your car?
It was my parents' car.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Mazda 626.
New?
No, it was an 83.
You got into an accident with the car. According to you, Mr. Johnson, the defendant came to you and she was very upset.
Yep, scared of her dad's reaction, didn't know what she'd do. And I said, I know someone who can fix her car. Brought it over there and got it fixed. And while she said that she didn't have the money, I said, I could let you borrow the money. She said, sure, that'd be great. But at first she denied it. She's like, no, don't do that for me. Please don't do that. I was like, all right, well, just if you need the money, and when you start your job, you can start paying me back. She's like, all right, because she was scared of what her dad was going to do. Got her car fixed. 2 days later, after that, she split on me in so many words, like our relationship ended. And for about 1.5 years, I tried getting in contact with her maybe like 10 times in a total of 1.5 years, and I never got a response back to her.
Mr. Johnson, let's go back a little bit because you sort of fluffed over this oral contract that you had with her that you're suing on, sir.
Mm-hmm.
She came to your house and she said she was very upset.
Well, she was crying and stuff. She didn't
So
know what she
far,
was
he's
going to do.
correct.
She did not know what she was going to do.
So far, he's correct.
She's correct to the point where he just said that he said he'd lend me the money, and he never said that. He told me that he had a friend that owed him favors and that he would get it fixed. And I said...
Yeah, for cheaper.
Just
no, you never
don't
said
interrupt.
that.
Go ahead.
And so I was like, I was really scared. I was in shock. I just got in an accident. And I said, no, because I don't have money to get it fixed. I'm just going to have to tell my dad. And then he didn't want me to get in trouble. So he said, no, we'll get it fixed. So we took it to the shop, got it fixed.
When you took it to the shop, was there any discussion about $600?
Not until he was going to get it fixed, and then the guy said it'll be $600.
So there was discussion about $600?
Yes.
So...
And then Dino, I looked at Dino, and he said, no, they're going to take care of it. Because he said the guy owed him a lot of favors.
That's not true.
But then I did not, it didn't hit me until we were on our way home, and I asked him who's going to pay for it. And he said, I will. And I said, no, I don't want you to pay for it. Take it out of the shop. And he didn't. And
so you said to him, take it out of the shop?
Yeah, I asked him to call them.
And he said what?
He said, no, don't worry about it. They'll take care of it.
So you didn't say to him, take me right back to the shop and let's get it out of the shop?
I asked him to. I said, take me over there or call them. And he didn't.
But then there came a time when you went back and picked up this car.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
A fixed car?
Yes.
Did you pay for the car, sir?
Yes, I did. $600. She was there.
Let me see proof of that.
She told me that when she was able to get a job, she would pay me back. I said, little payments are fine, whenever. And she was like, okay, I'm going to pay you back, even when we were like breaking up or whatever we had together.
Who signed for this?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken many cars to Miguel.
Miguel, that's the name of this person?
Mm-hmm. Miguel's Auto Body Shop.
Good. Let me make a call.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Miguel? Miguel, this is Judge Judy Sheindlin. Do you know who I am? Well, I'm a judge who is hearing a case that has something to do with your auto body shop. And I have a couple of questions to ask you. Do you have a moment for me? Good. Do you know someone by the name of Dino Johnson? Yes. He says he's brought many customers to your shop. And this has to do with a car that was brought to you, a 1983 Mazda in 1995. He says he came in with a young woman who had been in an accident with her car. Yes? Well, could you tell me what you remember about that, sir? Right, so 2 or 3 weeks ago he came in and he asked you for a bill. Right, because I'm looking at this bill and it doesn't look as if it's a couple of years old. It looks like it's a relatively new bill. And it says here, sir, there's something that's circled and it said that you were paid in cash. So how did you know it was $600? Is not an answer, Miguel. Okay, Miguel, you've been very cooperative. Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He said, well, I don't think my husband would have murdered his daughter. And I said, I would have been able to handle that.
And later today...
You know, you got to remember what you write down, Mr. Barth.
Gotcha.
Always comes back to bite you in the behind.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dean Johnson is suing his former girlfriend Nicole McDermott because he gave her money to fix her car and she never repaid him. Nicole says Dean is angry because she broke up with him and started dating his friend.
Now, Mr. Johnson, one of the reasons I went to make a phone call is this didn't look like something you had had around for 2.5 years.
Mm.
So Miguel seemed to know all about this lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
I figured maybe he has no business because 2.5 years go by. Boy, he remembered everything, like she was your girlfriend and then broke up with you, and he knew the whole story. That led me to believe that you had been there more recently.
Yeah, because my mechanic is right next door.
No, because you needed a new bill.
Yeah, and I got a new bill, and she was there when I paid for it.
Now, just a second. You got a
I'm
new
just telling
bill.
you.
Shh. You got a new bill. This he gave you a couple of weeks ago. This was not the original bill. He has no invoice with regard to it because I asked him how come. He remembered that it was $600. He said, well, he remembers that it was $600. He had no invoice because he wrote paid cash, which means that he didn't write it down anywhere else.
Exactly.
Well, I have no doubt that $600 was in fact paid because according to Miguel, who I believe, who was very honest with me on the phone, he said that the original estimate was much more, about $850, but because he was referred by a friend and had done a lot of work there, he said he would do it for less. I have another couple of questions for you, Miss McDermott. You say you rear-ended this car and you had hundreds of dollars worth of damage on your car. What happened to the other car?
The other car, it was a Ford Explorer. There was only a small scratch, and it was a rental car, so they didn't care.
So he didn't care?
No, so nothing happened to it.
Did you ultimately tell your father about this?
Yes, I did.
When?
I told him approximately, he found out, and then I told him about 2 months after it happened.
Are you working?
Yes.
You have to pay for this. It's reasonable, right? He was being a nice guy.
See, he told me I didn't have to worry about paying him back. And he even told my mother that on the telephone, that I don't have to worry about it. And she asked him, what happens if she breaks up with you? And
oh, well, don't tell me. Let her tell me. You're her mother.
Yes.
Your last name is?
McDermott.
Yes.
I learned about the accident approximately 2 days after the accident. The car was already in the shop. It was almost repaired, and they were ready to pick it up. I had spoke to Dino about it. I said, Dino, we don't have the money to pay you for the car. My husband, one of the reasons why we hadn't told my husband, he had had 7 surgeries in the last 4 years. He was having a very hard time with his health, and I didn't want to tell him. I kept things from him because I didn't want to disturb his health anymore.
Good idea.
But I told Dino, I said, Dino, why did you fix her car? I says, why didn't you call me? I told Nikki, why didn't you call me? I'm your parent. It's up to me to decide what's going to happen. He says, well, she couldn't have driven it that way and her father would have gotten really mad. I says, well, he said her father would have killed her. I says, well, I don't think my husband would have murdered his daughter. And I said, I would have been able to handle that. I said, she would have either, one, had to have driven the car like it was, if it was drivable. I never saw it. I said, or found alternate transportation. He says, don't worry about it. She doesn't have to pay me back. And it was like a done
She
deal.
didn't have to pay me back right away.
It wasn't,
as soon as she got a job, because she wasn't working at the time. I said, even $20, $10 here and there.
Miss McDermott, listen to me. You have to teach your daughter responsibility. How old is she?
She'll be 20.
And so this happened 2.5 years ago, so she wasn't quite 18, correct?
Right.
Well, then you have to teach her responsibility. I can understand that. 17 years old, still a baby, they do a lot of stupid things. But she was in an accident with the car. And if you're in an accident, you have to bear responsibility for taking care of it. I can understand her boyfriend at that time saying, listen, don't worry about it, you're not working, you know, I don't want you to get in trouble with your father, I will help you out. But then within a relatively short period of time, they weren't a couple anymore. Don't you think it's the responsible thing for your daughter to do? To pay her debts? Don't you think so? Sure it is. Now, but you have another problem, Mr. Johnson.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
My grandmother used to say, beauty fades, dumb is forever.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dean Johnson says his former girlfriend, Nicole McDermott, borrowed money to fix her car and never paid him back. Nicole claims the money was a gift.
You have another problem, Mr. Johnson. How old are you, sir?
21.
So you were over 18 when you made this arrangement with Miss McDermott.
Yes.
And she was under 18. Is that right?
I believe so. I wasn't exactly sure of her age.
How old were you?
I think she just turned 18.
I just turned 18.
You did just turn 18. Are you lucky? Because if she were under 18, she couldn't make a contract with you, even a verbal one. You understand that?
I do now.
She can't be bound by it. She can't be sued on it. But if she were it was over 18, then she has reached her majority. Ms. McDermott, you have to take care of your bills. You drive a car, there are expenses. You have an accident, you have to pay for them.
That's why I didn't want him to fix my car.
But he fixed it, madam. And you're over 18, and you were sitting in the car, and nobody said you had to leave the car there. It was drivable. You could have said, forget it. I don't have the money. I'm going to deal with my father. You didn't do that. Don't take advantage of a situation. How much after this did you two break up?
It was about a week.
About a week?
Maybe even less than that.
That's a very expensive week.
He didn't even want the money back.
All right.
Until...
Miss McDermott, you can't get along on your good looks forever, madam. You know? After a while, the looks go. And you have other things that you have to rely on, and that is your good name and integrity and responsibility and all those good things. Now, if you two had ended up an item, you got married and whatever, if he came to me 20 years later and said to me, she owes me $600 for the car, I would have shown him the door. But he did this because he cared for you. So, you're supposed to do the right thing. And the right thing is to pay him back his money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Back there to your right.
And now the next case.
Parties on Daly versus Barth. Step forward, please.
21-year-old Krista Urea says she and 24-year-old Christian Snyder were engaged to be married until she caught him cheating. She's suing for credit card bills and wedding expenses.
How old are you?
24.
Young looking. You're lucky.
Thank you.
But not smart. Because according to this complaint, you were engaged to the boss's daughter.
That would be me.
And you had a little tryst with somebody in the office. And then the engagement was over. And she says that you owe her money from all the things that she spent for the wedding and some other credit card bills. And you signed a note. And then she said you didn't pay. Is that what this is about?
Yes, he stopped paying. He had been paying for a while.
Okay, so that's pretty much what this is about. Was he working for your father at the time that you became engaged? Is that how you met him?
No, it's not.
Because this becomes important in this story later. He said he was coerced into signing this note. So who was he working for when you met him?
He was working for an automotive shop somewhere down in Montclair.
As a mechanic?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
And how long did you know him before he came to work for your father?
Probably a little over a year.
Is that right?
That's about right, yeah.
And what kind of business does your father have?
An automotive repair shop.
So it was the same kind of business?
Yes.
And what were you doing for her father? Working as a mechanic?
Yeah, and also helping run the office.
Do you have any brothers?
Yes, I have a brother.
Does he work in the business?
No.
Do you have any other sisters?
I have a sister, yes.
Does she work in the business?
No.
So there you have a business that could grow into a business that's yours. Did that ever occur to you?
Yeah.
And you became engaged when?
March of this year.
And you made certain preparations?
Yes, we did.
Like what?
Well, we reserved the chapel to get married. I have wedding invitations that we had made up. I had a dress. My girls got their dresses.
Stop playing. Look at me. When was this wedding supposed to take place?
August 30th.
And tell me when the engagement was broken.
That's July, beginning of July.
By whom and why?
By him, because he said he needed to find himself, and then I found out he was sleeping with one of the girls from my dad's work.
How did you find that out?
Because his mother called me at midnight and told me, because I guess she'd gone by his mom's house.
The girl had gone by his mom's house? Did you confront him with that?
Yep.
What'd he say?
He tried to talk his way around it, and I went to the girl's house, and his car was there, and he admitted to it. And then he tried to come back to me after that, and then he went back to her, and he played a game for a little while.
Did you tell your father?
Oh, yes.
So you were willing to go through with this wedding even though you found out that he was fooling around. So
Oh, no.
because you said he broke the engagement.
Yes, he broke the engagement.
By having this affair?
No, well, that's not, that's the reason why, but that's not the reason he gave me.
What was the reason he gave you?
He needed time alone. He needed to find himself.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Same girlfriend that you were meeting with while you were engaged to her?
At the time, there was nothing going on, but...
Just visiting?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christy Urea called off her wedding when she discovered her fiancé, Christian Snyder, was cheating. She's suing for wedding expenses and credit card bills. Christian says he paid Christy's college tuition, making them even.
So then you signed a note, right?
Yes.
It's right here.
Well, show it to him because that'll make it easier. I don't have to show him the copy that I have. That's the note that you signed, sir?
Yes.
Well, tell me about that because you say you were coerced into signing the note.
I was told that if I signed it, it could be negotiated later, but I needed to sign it so I could get back to work, and I was afraid of losing my job.
Okay, let's start. You were presented with this note. By whom?
By her father.
In the office?
Yes.
You signed it?
Yes. I was afraid I'd lose my job if I didn't sign it, and I needed to pay child support.
So, you had a choice of either signing the note or going to find another job, right?
Yes, let's put it that way.
Did you honestly believe, sir, that her father was going to keep you on the payroll after he found out that you were fooling around with somebody else in his business?
He told me I could.
I got a bridge I want to sell you. You're 24 years old and you tell me that you have child support that you have to pay.
Yes.
How many children do you have?
One.
How old?
She's going to be 5.
So you were a teenager when you had this child, right?
Yes.
Were you married to the child's mother?
Yes.
Is that your only marriage?
Yes.
So you signed this note for $3,000. Is that what it was?
$3,200, yes.
And according to you, you paid some of it.
Yes.
And she acknowledges that you paid some of it.
I wrote him a receipt every time he made me a payment.
Made you a payment, but money was also deducted from his check at work.
Yes, and my father wrote him receipts. I have those. That's how they started, and I continued writing them.
Let me see the receipts. Well, the last one was in September, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a balance due of $2,294.
Correct.
And you're still suing for $3,000.
Yes.
Explain that to me.
I have a proposal I had done. He kicked holes in my wall and attempted to fix them.
When?
The last month that we were together, when he started acting really bizarre.
Before or after you had him sign this note?
Before.
Forget it. What's next?
The wedding invitations that I had to pay my mother back for.
He had ordered those invitations before this note, correct?
Yes.
Well, look, Miss Urea, we're not going to reinvent the wheel here.
I understand.
You, at a time, memorialized in writing and had him sign, your father had him sign, what he owed you as of a date certain. He, according to you, made certain payments. These are all the payments that she says she has. And do you get a copy of these receipts?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have any question in your mind that the last receipt indicates that the balance due was $2,294?
I believe that's what it was, yes.
Okay.
I don't have any of the stuff she wants me to pay for. I also paid for her school, which I was never reimbursed for. I figured we'd just make it even.
Well, did you have an agreement with her to pay?
A verbal agreement, she was going to pay me back, yes.
Well, explain that to me.
I gave, because her father would pay for school and she got good grades. So in order to get started, she needed money to go to school, to pay for first semester, and then her father would pick it up from there.
How much did you pay?
I don't exactly know how much it was.
Well, if you... Give me another reason why you don't owe this money. The first one I'm shelving. Give me another reason why you don't owe this money. The first one I'm shelving.
The whole time we were together, I was also helping her on her credit cards and stuff like that. Just from the past year, I have almost $2,500 in canceled checks and stuff to her credit cards.
So?
That's not
you both
true.
Her credit cards and stuff like that. Just from the past year, I have almost $2,500 in canceled checks and stuff to her credit cards.
Sir?
That's not
You both
true.
used her credit cards. You're clutching at straws, Mr. Snyder. You signed a note for $3,200. You're 24 years old. You've been married once, divorced once. You're the father of a child. That's the end of the story. If you had said to me that our father coerced you into signing this note because he took your left ankle and tied it around your right ear, right? And he was torturing you, that's against the law.
Well, you don't know her father. I mean, he has called me threatening me that he's going to come take it from me and stuff like that.
You mean when you didn't pay?
Yeah.
Well, that's a different story. When you didn't pay, I'm talking about when you signed the note. And according to you, you felt coerced into signing this note because you were afraid to lose your job.
Not only that, her father is extremely intimidating.
What do you mean is extremely intimidating, sir?
He just is. He's very
Like me?
hot-tempered.
Huh?
No, actually, he's more intimidating than you are.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen, you signed the note, you have an obligation to pay it. It's as simple as that. Not smart to fool around like that, Mr. Snyder. You living with anybody now, sir?
Yes.
Who?
My girlfriend?
Same girlfriend that you were
Yes.
meeting with while you were engaged to her?
At the time, there was nothing going on, but...
Just visiting? Hmm? All right, what's the bottom line here? Judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,294. Thank you, that's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues.
This is case number 143 on the calendar in the matter of Snook versus Snook. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You folks were married for 8 years. You're still married, but in the process of getting a divorce.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
You have 2 kids?
Yes.
How old are they?
8 and 3. 8 and 3?
Boy and a girl?
Yes.
At issue in this case are 2 loans that were made during the course of your marriage. One for $3,500? $3,800 to your mother.
Yes.
And another one to a friend for $1,500.
Correct.
Correct.
You, sir, seem to acknowledge that these loans were made, but refuse to contribute towards repaying them.
Yes.
You're going to tell me why in a minute, I assume. Also at issue are possession of wedding photographs. Is that in an album?
There's a few that he has that he's taken out, but I have some, he has some, but I prefer to have them all together.
They're more like personal photos, private photos that she would like to have back.
I'm talking about the wedding photos.
This is case number 96 on the calendar in the matter of Cheatham versus Oldenkamp Celine.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in. Calendar in the matter of Grant versus Grant. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Tell me your first name.
Robin.
And yours?
Maria.
How old are you, Robin?
11.
Maria?
9.
This is your dad. That's your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to talk to both of you, because I've read your papers. I'm going to talk to you sort of privately a little bit later. Okay? So what I would like you to do for now is, this is Officer Byrd.
Hello.
He's going to take you into my chambers for a minute to sit down and wait for me, because I want to talk to your mom and dad for a minute.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Miss Grant, would you step up here, please? Mr. and Mrs. Grant, from what I gather from your papers, you were married in 1975.
Correct.
And these are your 2 girls.
Yes.
You're now divorced.
No.
Separated.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And you lived in New York most of your married life, is that right?
Yes. All of our married life was in New York.
When did you separate?
November of 1986.
No, 96.
I'm sorry, 96.
So you were married for 21 years before you separated.
Correct.
And I gather that this separation was not a happy one. They usually are
Wasn't
not.
amicable, right.
But that you left New York, Mrs. Grant. Is
We
that
went to
right?
Hawaii. We resided in Hawaii.
Who resided in Hawaii?
Me and the children.
You left your husband.
Oh, yeah.
Why did you decide to move to Hawaii?
Well, I had family there, and I wanted distance. So
Why did you want distance?
it was a horrible relationship. It became threatening on many levels, and I thought the further, the better.
How did you feel as if that impacted on the children?
It had to be negative and positive. It was positive because it took them out of a very harmful situation.
How harmful, Mrs. Grant?
Very harmful.
Was it a physically abusive relationship?
Oh, yeah.
When you say, oh, yeah, you say that very mildly.
Yeah, I can say that now because I'm not in danger anymore. Yes, it was.
Was any of this violence in front of the children?
Yes.
Is that right, sir?
No, it's not true.
Well, if I asked you girls whether they ever saw you being physically abusive towards your wife, what do you think they would say?
They would say no.
Did you get permission from the court to leave the jurisdiction?
Oh, yeah.
I gave permission for the children to
The
leave
courts
with
gave.
her. No, it was my permission that did it.
Why, Mr. Grant, did you give permission for your wife to go so many thousands of miles away with your children?
For my children to go through this, I couldn't let them go through any more court litigation, so it was me that said, let her have full custody and let the children be with her.
Do you have other children, Mr. Grant?
No.
The reason that I'm asking to speak to you first before I speak to the girls is the girls want their things back. That's what this lawsuit is about. I don't know exactly what things they want, and I assume they're going to tell me. But it's always a very sad thing when children are brought into a domestic situation between their parents. There's a saying that always sticks in my mind, Mrs. Grant and Mr. Grant, and that is you're supposed to love your children more than you hate each other when you separate. Children usually need two parents.
They should do.
If they've estranged themselves for whatever reason, either because one parent encourages it or not, they usually grow up eventually resenting the parent that caused the estrangement, and that could be either one of you. So, Mrs. Grant, I'm going to ask you this question. Let us assume that it was a miserable relationship with your husband. You think it's a good idea that your children should have negative feelings about him?
They're free to have whatever feelings they want to.
Well, you're the custodial parent, Mrs. Grant. So really, children are pretty pliable, you know, and they take their lead from whoever is taking care of them.
No, I'm not going to push the children either way. If they have negative feelings or negative thoughts, they can vent those. If they don't, they don't.
Okay. Well, what things do your daughters want from their father?
What they really want are the things from their bedroom, their baby pictures, videos, stamp collections, telescopes, microscopes, things of that nature.
Well, baby pictures and things, he says he wants to keep because he likes to have them. And I can understand that. You can make copies of those and send them to the girls, right?
Yes.
That's an easy. The other things are just things, microscope, stamp collection, those things. You have no problem with returning those to the girls, do you?
No, I have no problem.
But it's the pictures and the videos.
It's the pictures and the videos.
And that's also, in this age of technology, you can make copies,
duplicate.
keep one for yourself, and then see that the girls get their pictures and stuff so that they also can look at times when they were little and maybe you were all a family and living happily together. All right, I would like to speak to your children. So why don't the two of you have a seat?
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I'm telling you that he loves you.
You're telling me.
I'm telling you that he
He's
loves you.
not. You're
Is it important for you to hear it from him?
No, because it's a lie.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robin Grant is suing her ex-husband on behalf of their 2 children, Marie and Robin, because he won't return their belongings. Colden says he's being prohibited from seeing his children.
Hello, gorgeous girls.
Hello.
I understand you two are very bright. First of all, you're very tall
Yeah.
and very lovely.
Thank you.
So you know who I am, and I want to find out a little bit more about you. I've just had a talk with your mom and your dad. And it's always sad when parents get a divorce. Right?
Depending, I don't think it's that sad because they were arguing and everything. So it's not sad that they're not arguing anymore.
To me, it was just about happy.
It's about happy. Why is that?
I don't have to go through a bunch of arguing and screaming and stuff like that.
So there was a lot of that in your house. But my sense is that your mother loves you and your father loves you. You're their only children. What things do you want your dad to give you back?
Well, I want my baby pictures.
Okay, let me tell you what your dad said about your pictures and the videos and stuff. Your dad's going to make copies of all the things because he would like to have them too, to see his children. You're his 2 children. He doesn't have any other kids. He loves you. And then you have a stamp collection.
Yeah.
Whose stamp collection?
Both of ours.
And he's going to send that back to you.
That's good.
And the telescope, is that what you want?
Yeah.
And your dad said he was going to send that back to you.
That's good.
Okay? So let's take care of that.
And our coin collection.
And your coin collection. Very valuable coin collection?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, my mom traveled like all over the world, and she got different like kinds of dollars from different places and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, is it your mom's coin collection or yours?
And she gave it to us.
Well, let me tell you this. It's really your mom's coin collection, if she was collecting it. There are certain things that are yours. There are certain things that may be a problem between your mother and your father. I don't want to get involved with that, and I don't think you ought to get involved with that. All right, so let's finish that. This is over. So let's talk honestly, the 2 of us, the 3 of us, 2 of you and 1 of me. You live very far away from your father.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you 2 girls ever witness any time when either of your parents put their hands on each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did?
Yep.
Tell me about it.
Well, once my dad tried twisting my mom's arm and stuff, so I stopped.
Yes. What else?
Well, sometimes they just get tussling matches sometimes. Tussling matches sometimes.
The 2 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Colton's always trying to like talk over her and stuff like you're brainwashing them and stuff like that.
That happens. You know your mom loves you.
Yeah.
So does your father. I think you know that. I'm not so sure that you understand that. He really loves you. You question that?
Yeah.
He loves you.
Well, my true feelings are that I don't really want to be around him anymore.
Why?
The way he acts.
Like what? You have to tell me.
Okay. The way he acts is like ignorant.
How?
I can't explain it.
Let's say something to you. You know, the truth of the matter is, ladies, just amongst us 3 ladies, sometimes guys don't always do the right thing just because they're older. Sometimes parents don't do the right thing. Mothers or fathers, even because they're parents. And you 2 gals are very smart. So in addition to being smart, you should be tolerant. Just because you're a parent doesn't make you perfect. Your father has disappointed you, right? You're supposed to not necessarily accept it and not necessarily understand it, but just say, He's my father. And I know he's made mistakes, but I'm telling you that he loves you.
You're telling me.
I'm telling you that he loves you.
He's not. You're telling me.
Is it important for you to hear it from him?
No, because it's a lie.
No, it's not. He loves you. He really loves you. Would you spend a little time with him today?
No.
Hmm?
No, I've been with him for 8 years, and that's enough for me.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
They did witness a lot of shouting, a lot of screaming, and a lot of mutual pushing. They're very angry with you, sir. Your children will not grow up as whole human beings if they do not have any contact with their father.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robin Grant claims her ex-husband, Colden Grant, won't return their children's possessions. Colden says since Robin won't let him see his kids, he wants to keep the items.
Why don't you step back up, please?
May I ask her to view these, please?
Ms. Grant,
Your Honor?
I am not condoning any act of domestic violence that may have occurred in your home. I will tell you from what I heard from the children, there was only one instance that your younger daughter told me about when your husband twisted your arm. While I'm not condoning that, we're not talking about an ongoing pattern of physical violence that the children witnessed. They did witness a lot of shouting, a lot of screaming, and a lot of mutual pushing, shoving. They're very angry with you, sir. Your girls are very angry with you. And Mrs. Grant, I'm going to make a couple of suggestions to you. In the short time that I had to speak with your daughters, they are so fixed, although your older daughter clearly is sad about it, at not having contact with their father, that I think it almost would border on the criminal if you did not see to it that your children were engaged in some sort of therapy. Because I believe it is a tremendous mistake for children to be estranged from a non-custodial parent the way these children have been estranged from their father. Terrible mistake. But it's a mistake for girls not to want to receive mail from their father, not to want to communicate with him at all. That says something to me about the custodial parent, Mrs. Grant, because I've seen enough children of separation and divorce where there is a lot more domestic violence that goes on, and those children still want to have contact with their father. These children, for some reason, do not, and they were not able to articulate to me any really valid reason for it. So I must attribute that to things that they've heard at home. I think it's a tremendous mistake. I think in the long run you will be hurting your children and hurting them dramatically if you don't change your attitude with regard to him. He's their father. You picked him. You were married to him for 21 years. You were together for 21 years. You made 2 children. These are the only 2 children that you have. And if he is less of a husband or less of a father than your children would like, that's it. I've tried to explain to them he still loves them. They have to feel as if he still loves them. They don't feel that way, and they must be getting that from someplace other than him. So I think you're making a big mistake if you don't encourage your children in that direction and not say to me at age 9 that you're going to let her make up her own mind what she wants to do. Okay?
And I hope that Robin's anger stopped filtering over to the children. It's really her anger that have my children feeling this way.
Well, I don't doubt that, sir, because I've very rarely seen children so fixed with basically what I've heard in the back without the kind of history that would suggest that that they have a good and valid reason for it. The marriage is over, it's over.
Did Maria relate to you that whenever they want to speak to him that I allow them to call? They stopped calling because he kept lying to them?
Miss Grant, what I'm telling you is there's a difference between children asking to call their father and feeling that they are betraying their mother if they're asking to call their father because she's so angry. Just listen to me, Mrs. Grant. Are you shaking your head? No. I've been in this business for a quarter of a century. I've probably seen 10,000 separations and divorces. They're all not so different. And children feel that if they ask to communicate with the non-custodial parent, when there's so much anger on this side, that in some way they're being disloyal to their mother. So it's not a question of I let them call whenever they want to call. They have to be reinforced constantly with the idea that their father may have shortcomings, but he loves you.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Mr. Grant, you have promised me, sir, that you will return the children's things to them.
Yes.
That is their telescope, their stamp collection. I don't know about this coin collection that they spoke about. If you find it in your heart to return it to them, that's terrific. They certainly would like to have their pictures back, so you're going to make copies of all of those things and see to it that they get them. Return their things. It's stupid to have their things. Right?
Well, those are the only memories I have. I have no contact.
Okay.
So right now...
Well, but you know, you don't get warm from looking at a telescope, sir.
No.
So you have to return their things. It's important to them. So you can't be angry and also let that flow down to the children. It's a start. I don't know what will happen eventually. Mrs. Grant, your children will not grow up as whole human beings if they do not have any contact with their father. By the time they're 20, 25 years old, it will be a void for them. And you should be protective of that. I think that you love them.
It's a void now.
Well, then you have to do something about it. You're their mother. You've moved them halfway across the world. So it's your responsibility to shorten that distance in whatever way you can, because they're going to have a void as adults. If they cannot accept the fact that good, bad, shortcomings, he's done things that disappoint them, this is their father. And if they don't feel as if he loves them, they're not going to grow up strong. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will...
Come on in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me first say that when you prepare papers for court, which are a complaint and an answer, and in your case, a countersuit, you're supposed to prepare them so that the judge, in reading over a file, can understand the nature of your lawsuit. And quite frankly, sir, I don't understand what you're suing for. Something about a computer, something about slander. I have no idea how this problem started. And quite frankly, I don't understand your countersuit either. So, go ahead, Mr. Cheatham.
Now, there are three separate cases, as you know. The first case is that I had to move out of my apartment because it had gotten flooded. And Roy was coming over and using the computer every day because we were working on a play together.
So you were writing together?
No, we were working together.
What
on
does
the
that
play.
mean?
He was doing the publicity, and at the time I had a client that was doing the play.
What do you mean you had a client that was doing the play?
I had a client who was the star of the show, of the Dorothy Dandridge show. So he was, and so he didn't have a computer, so he was coming over all the time to use a computer.
So you're in the publicity business?
I was helping him out, yes, working for him at his place of business. And
Which was his apartment?
His apartment, right.
That got flooded?
I never heard anything about it getting flooded or saw any evidence of it.
Go ahead.
So John suggested, John is my housemate, decided that we should leave the computer with Roy while we were out of the apartment and they were repairing it.
Okay.
That's the
Apartment
first
got
part
flooded.
of the case.
You had your computer. You left it with him.
Yes.
Okay. Who bought this computer?
Me.
Do you have his computer?
I have the computer he gave me as partial payment for back wages due for work I did at his address, which is also his business, which I worked at for a year and a half, helping him not just do one play, but his entire business. And I have files and evidence of the things I did, some of the things that I did while I was there.
Well, so you say he handed this computer over to you as partial payment for the work?
Yes, he said that he was in the process of brokering a deal to sell a painting by Goya, the artist, that his commission, he was selling it to a Hungarian count, and his commission would be at least $350,000.
Did you tell him that?
Your Honor, I can't talk about that case. That case is being in litigation as we speak.
Well,
yes.
you have to talk about it, sir.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you why. Because he says that you gave him this computer, but that you were working on a big deal and that hopefully you were going to get your computer back. Is that right?
No, he was going to pay me more money additionally. The computer was partial payment for monies due. and he came over to my house, set it up, and said he'd have more money for me when this went through this brokering deal, which I don't know anything about how it happened after that.
Had you owed him any money, sir?
No. Not for work.
Well, how was he being compensated for doing the publicity
He was
work?
working for the show. He was not working for me. He was working for J.H. Doyle Production, and I have the witness to that effect.
This witness?
This witness.
Would you stand up, please?
Certainly.
Who are you?
I'm Sloan Robinson. And
what
I
do you
was
do?
the actress that was doing the play Yesterday Came Too Soon, the Dorothy Dandridge story. And I know that at that time, Roy came on to our production as a publicist. And I do know that they were working together on that production.
That's one thing I did.
The checks for that were supposed to come through Clarence to Roy.
I never got paid for that either.
And
Just a
that's
second.
one thing. From my knowledge, Mr. Cheatham was not responsible for paying Roy's fee.
He's my
That
agent.
was
She
the
was the actress.
production
She would have no
company.
knowledge.
The
He's my agent.
production company was supposed to be paying his fee.
How do you know that?
That's
Where is the
what I
person
was
from?
told.
You can't tell me what you were told.
Okay.
Sit down.
Okay.
Just a second. Were you doing any other work for him other than on this particular Dorothy Dandridge story
Yes, ma'am.
play?
That play was only 3 months long in its entire gestation to the end of that play. I worked for Clarence for a long time, for I'd say over a year and a half, doing many other projects.
Well, why did you work for him for nothing, sir?
Well, I didn't. He paid me twice out of the amount I gave him. I have some invoices I'd given him also. And both times that he paid me, he paid one time I came to him and told him I wanted some money. He said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll pay an electric bill for you. How's that? So he paid the electric bill. The check bounced, of course. And then he did another payment with another fraudulent check that bounced.
I knew.
Just a
he
second.
really hasn't paid
So
me.
the answer is, all this year and a half, he didn't pay you.
Well, that's the Hollywood side of it. He is also my agent. So as my agent, he constantly would tell me, well, Roy, as soon as these deals break, I'll have the money for you. He's a very smooth talker. It's what he does.
Just a second. So you were working for him, but he was also your agent and supposedly working for you.
Yes.
He needed money because Clarence never got him any work as a writer. So Clarence said, well, work for me as well while we're trying to get all this done.
Plus, I had a full-time job all this time.
How do
This
you
was just
expect?
additional
Are you a writer, sir?
No, I'm not a writer.
Well, what do you do?
I manage some writers, and I arrange funds for various film projects. And I was
When did you give him this computer to keep for you?
It was in March or April or something like that. I don't remember. But I know that what had happened, as I said, the apartment flooded. We had to leave the apartment until they fixed it. And I didn't want to put it in storage. He was working on the play. So therefore, I was trying to be a decent person and just let him keep it. But he said that John owed him money, and that I owed him money. He has never given me any invoices. I've not ever paid. He wasn't working for me. He had a full-time job. How could he work for me?
He has copies of
I
the
work
invoices.
all day.
Clarence, I worked for you weekends
have
and
not
after
worked
work
for
all the
me.
time. I was at your house burning the midnight oil.
This accordion file on the floor is a partial bit of the work Roy's
Who are
done
you?
for him.
Just a second. Who are you?
I'm his sister. And we
what do
live
you have?
together.
Are you in business?
He's suing
She's
Giselle.
slander.
He's suing me for slander.
That's the one
No,
who
just a second.
slandered.
You're a sister. Are you in business with him?
I help him out occasionally, but I'm not technically in business with him, no.
This is getting very complicated. How much time do I have this afternoon?
Not much, Judge.
Do you, you're Mr. Olden?
Olden Camp, yes. ma'am.
Olden Camp. You have a lot of businesses?
I work full-time job in the daytime. And then
What
I
do you
help
do?
him out. In the daytime, I work administrative services at a company in the Valley. That means we help do supply and for an entire building of 200 people.
And you live alone, sir?
I live with Giselle.
We're roommates.
Right.
Fine. Do you have your own computer?
I have my own laptop computer, yes.
Fine. Give him back his computer. That's one. Give him back his computer. That's the way he makes a living. You don't have another computer, do you?
No, I don't.
His laptop is
just a second.
mine as well.
What?
We both use the laptop.
Good. You can only use it one lap at a time. His computer goes back there. Now, what's next?
The next is that Giselle,
that's her,
called Sloan, who I was working with, who's a business associate, and she will testify. And on the message, Sloan had said, Clarence, you have to listen to this message. I said, I really don't want to listen to it. It wasn't interesting, so she had to finally talk me into listening to it. And I quote exactly to you what Giselle said. It's the most heinous of things that you could ever accuse a human being of. She said, and I'll give you a copy of it, I just want to warn you about Clarence. He had the police come here about 1 o'clock this morning, which is true. I don't know what's wrong with him. He has turned his anger at me and Roy for some reason. You know he was arrested for child molestation last month. He has just lost it. I just want to tell you to watch out for him. Let's have lunch.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I am not in fear of this man.
Why are you not in fear of this drunken guy who gets on the pipe? This guy is dangerous.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Clarence Cheatham, a Hollywood agent, says his former client, Roy Oldenkamp, did not return his computer, and that Roy's sister, Joselle Celine, slandered him.
Did you leave that message on the machine?
Yes, I did.
Would you tell me first why, and then I'd like you to tell me what proof you have that Mr. Cheatham was in fact arrested on a charge of child molestation?
I called and left that message because Sloan, in addition to being a client of Clarence's, is a friend of mine. She's been to my house, we're friends, and I look out for my girlfriends. I'm afraid of this man now, and I wanted her forewarned.
I'm sorry.
What now? That answers the why.
Right.
Now let's go to the proof. What proof do you have that
Clarence
this man was in fact arrested for anything?
Okay. Clarence called my brother at my home.
This brother?
Yes, he called us to bail
She was
him
at
out
the
of jail
house at the
that
same
night.
time when he called.
This is my witness who was also there. They were home working. So Roy put it on speakerphone so he could continue working while Clarence was blethering away. And this is the witness that also heard the conversation of Clarence saying, "Come, can you bail me out? I've been picked up on child molestation charges." Tell me your name, sir.
My name is James Shefflin.
James?
James Shefflin.
Mr. Shefflin.
Yes.
What do you do for a living, sir?
Okay, I manage a rock and roll band, and Roy is stepping up as my publicist. And we do a lot of late evenings. And,
so you were at home in the evening.
I was at his home.
Their home.
Right.
And what happened?
And he got a phone call, and Roy always puts the call on speakerphone.
You mean he picks it up on speakerphone?
I just push speaker. Push.
You push speakerphone.
So he doesn't have to stop what he's
And
saying.
what did you hear, sir?
I heard that he was calling and asking for help to get out of jail. He said, I need help getting out here. Is there any way you can possibly get me out?
Okay. Mr. Cheatham.
Yes.
Were you, in fact, arrested?
Not for child molestation.
That's not what I asked you, sir.
No.
Listen to me. I'm asking you a question. Were you, in fact, arrested?
Yes. Nobody bailed me out.
Mr. Cheatham, you were, in fact, arrested?
Yes.
When?
I have April or February or March, something like that. I don't even remember.
Did you, in fact, call Mr. Oldenkamp?
Perhaps John called him. I don't remember calling him.
But you could have.
But I could have.
And you could have called him and asked him to come and bail you out.
You don't bail out child molesters.
Oh, you'd be surprised, sir. You'd be surprised. Did you call and ask them to help you?
No. John is my witness to that. No one. I asked no one because I didn't want anyone to even know that I was there. I was arrested on a $250 charge for disorderly conduct, and hey, you spend one night in jail and you're out.
Just let me ask you this question, sir. Was the original charge disorderly conduct?
That was the original charge.
No, the original charge was child molestation.
Just a second.
Who did I molest?
A Hollywood producer's daughter.
Shh. Mr. Oldenkamp.
A 25-year-old
Mr.
woman.
Hey. Tell me the circumstances surrounding your arrest, sir.
The circumstances surrounding my arrest, I went to help a friend move. She said her car wouldn't start. I was standing there to call AAA. The next thing I know, all these white policemen were up on me. There were 10 of them. Because somebody had called and said that we were about to rob, John and I were about to rob them. So, they called a cab, put us in a cab, and then this cab driver said, well, you guys are probably taking us somewhere to rob me. I just laughed, you know. So and he drove us back, left us at the garage, and as soon as I walked out, they didn't touch John. They arrested me for disturbing the peace, disorderly conduct. I have no idea. I was there for one night. It was a $250 fine that every man in that jailhouse laughed at me. You can't get $250. Every man, I'm in there with dope dealers, pushers, murderers, and everything. And here it is that they're laughing at me. I was the butt of their joke because I couldn't come up with $250 to get out of jail. It was a $250 fine. You will not, you know, so therefore, never for child molestation. A 25-year-old, you don't molest them. You don't molest
What's a
25-year-old.
I don't know who the
He said a
25-year-old
Hollywood
is.
producer's daughter. Yeah, that's what he said. He said
Clarence
it was a
told me-
Hollywood
when
producer's
Clarence told
daughter.
me on the phone-
25 years old.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What happens? This is the payback that I get. I mean, I hope his bad karma is ending here. I hope people in Hollywood will be warned.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Hollywood agent Clarence Cheatham is suing Joselle Salim for slander.
The true text of the conversation as he called us was that, Roy, I'm in jail, I've been arrested. I think he said Van Nuys Police Department. He says, you won't believe it, I was arrested for child molestation. I was drunk, I was at a producer's house. I accidentally grabbed her daughter. Of course, he'd say accidentally. She had a cell phone in her hand, ran in the bathroom, locked the door, and called 911. They came and arrested me and took me out of the building. This, I'm just
Why don't you
asking her,
ask
this
John?
is what the phone conversation was.
Why don't you ask John?
First of all, Mr. Cheatham, how many times have you been arrested in your life?
One. I was shocked. I was shocked to be arrested that time.
Who are you?
My name is John Taylor. We sit together, and I mean the whole child molesting thing is not.
Well, just a minute. Were you there when he made the phone call to the defendant?
No.
Okay, then you can sit down.
But he was there when I was arrested. He knows why I was arrested.
Just a second.
Did
Sir.
I call Roy? That's the issue
No,
here.
you don't know whether he called him or not.
I couldn't call anybody out of the courthouse because
No,
I didn't know
sir,
how to use the
Mr.
phone.
Cheatham, I want to tell you something. I believe, sir, that you called him. There's no question in my mind that I believe that you called him.
I called him.
I did not call Roy. I don't remember calling him. Perhaps John
No,
might
you
have
don't. You
called
may
him.
not remember calling him, but he knows your voice, sir, as opposed to this gentleman's voice.
Well, I don't think he's telling the truth. They're pulling at straws. They're pulling at straws. Giselle lied and said I was a child molester. That's the issue here, that she slandered me to a business colleague of mine. That is what we have. That's what we have. Has nothing to do with that. This is a business client of mine, and you know it.
Just a second. Well, let me ask you this question, madam. Did you believe the fact that he was a child molester?
No, I did not.
Good. Then we don't have a problem.
There you go.
Because in order for you to prove damages, sir, if she published this
She's no
information...
longer working with me.
Listen to me.
She's no longer working with me as a client, so therefore I've lost income.
Well, listen.
Okay.
Mr. Cheatham.
Judy, can I just say something?
Mr. Cheatham, there are two things. I have to make a judgment as to whether the phone call was made and whether I believe the phone call was made. I believe the phone call was made. I believe the phone call was made by you, Mr. Cheatham. I don't know whether you were drinking that night or not. This is the person with whom you reside. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So I believe the phone call was made. I believe this person, that he overheard that phone conversation, at least part of it. I don't know why, madam, you felt it necessary to transmit that information to anybody else. There must have been some bad blood, but clearly you didn't believe it, correct?
Oh, we're not
Did you
friends.
believe?
She did that to malign him because I'm his client.
Did you believe that it was true?
No, I did not.
Did you believe that he had been arrested?
Apparently not. That I had no question. I don't know. That's possible.
That's
but
possible.
as far as him being a child molester, no.
Okay, so you didn't believe it?
No.
Okay, so did you tell anybody else that he was a child molester?
No.
Or that you thought he was arrested for child molestation?
Absolutely.
Did you tell anybody else that?
No.
Okay, so she didn't believe it, so that takes care of that. All right, now I'm going to get to your counterclaim.
I've not been served with such.
You were never served with a counterclaim?
I was never served
You were
with
served by Dan West 2 weeks ago.
I have not ever been served with a cross complaint. Why would I stand here and lie about that?
Well, I don't know, Clarence. That sums up the
Where
last
would he
half
have
hour.
served me 2 weeks ago?
He served you 2 weeks ago at your abode, wherever
Your
you
Honor,
live.
Well, let me...
I do
just
not
one
have
second.
a counterclaim
Just one
against
second.
me.
I'm
I
gonna
cannot
check
be sued for something that
Listen
I
to
don't
me.
know about.
Listen to me. I'm going to go back and check our court records and see whether or not we are in receipt of a filed counterclaim with proof of service.
Perhaps
Do you
you
understand?
are, but I'm not. And perhaps you are, I'm not. I don't know anything about a counterclaim because I certainly would have answered it.
Well, Mr. Cheatham, you can either finish this case in court today.
I want to finish it today.
Then you want to let me see what this
Sure.
cross complaint is about?
Sure.
Okay. Let me see if I have the papers. Just wait here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's a nut. I can't believe that he started this whole ball rolling in the first place. The man is simply a nut.
When you think of courtroom television, there is one name that instantly comes to mind, and that is Judge Judy. For decades, she has stood as the face of sharp justice, quick wit, and no-nonsense decisions. The show ran for 25 seasons and turned Judge Judy Sheindlin into one of the most recognizable personalities in the world. People loved to watch her because she was never afraid to cut through lies and nonsense in a matter of seconds. She spoke the way viewers at home wished. They could speak to the unreasonable people in their own lives. She was stern but often hilarious, and that balance made the show addictive. Judge Judy became a household name not because the cases were the most complex, but because she knew how to get to the truth fast. When someone came into her courtroom with a shaky story, she would catch it instantly. She knew how to read body language, how to pick apart contradictions, and how to remind people that common sense goes a long way. Watching her in action felt like a lesson in both law and life. One of the fascinating things about Judge Judy's courtroom is the variety of cases that came through. There were disputes over loans between friends, broken leases between landlords and tenants, damaged property between former couples, and countless feuds that boiled down to bad decisions and hurt pride. What made them interesting was not always the money at stake, but the drama that surrounded it. People often brought their personal grudges into the courtroom, and Judge Judy never allowed that to cloud the legal issue. She would stop them mid-story.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sean Mayhew is suing his ex-wife, Amber Mayhew, for back child support. Amber is countersuing for utilities.
I'm going to make the following suggestion. That any monies that you give him by certified check, by money order, keep a receipt, or by personal check, which you will get back from him. That you do not accept any cash from her, ever. I'm giving you certain credit for the utility bill of $350. I'm offsetting that against what I believe is a reasonable adjustment of the plaintiff's claim for back child support, and I'm awarding you, sir, $700. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor. This case basically shows that not all dads are deadbeat dads, and they could be the mother, too.
He said that he was going to do whatever he could to get me back, I screwed him, and, he was going to screw me.
And now the next case.
All parties on Neiman versus Brown. Step forward, please.
29-year-old teacher Kimberly Neiman and her husband, 36-year-old driving instructor Frederick Neiman, are suing Kimberly's father, 59-year-old Kenneth Brown, for a credit card he used to start a business with her brother.
I hate it when families sue each other. So, Miss Neiman, this is your dad. Is that right?
Yes.
And according to your complaint, some time ago, your dad asked to borrow some money from you.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And you gave him a credit card.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
And the bill is way past now $5,000. And you want him to pay the bill. Okay, Mr. Brown.
I did ask to borrow the credit card. It was a bit small business.
I know that you have a daughter. According to your answer, you also have a son.
Yeah.
Was the credit card for your son's use or for your use?
For his use.
So why didn't he ask his sister to borrow the card?
They feud and fight.
What did you say to them when you borrowed the credit card?
I told her that Ken would be using it. His name is the same as mine.
Well, your problem, Mr. Brown, is I read your answer. And what you said to me in the answer was, this is between brother and sister.
Yeah.
You borrowed the credit card. You allowed your son to use it. You say she knew that he was going to use it for a business. Was this business that the two of you were starting together, you and your son?
Yeah, him and I originally, but then we collapsed it.
You have to pay the bill. And then if you feel as if your son owes you money because you had to take on this responsibility, you might have to do what she's doing now. But the card was given to you.
Correct. I just feel that the two of them knew what they were doing, both of them, both sides, that they ought to be dealing with each other.
Well, she knew what she was doing. She was loaning her father her credit card. Is that right?
That's correct.
And according to you, she and her brother didn't get along. Is that right?
You're right.
So it's possible that if her brother came to her and said, I'd like to borrow a clean credit card that has a full line of credit, she would have said no. Right?
Possibly.
So you understand, sir, the reason that the credit card was given was because you asked for it. She was relying on you to pay off the bill. She wouldn't have given the credit card to your son. He probably knew that.
Yeah.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Are you in a family dispute? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
So let me see the balance on the credit card.
This is the newest one. The balance is right.
Have you made any payments at all on these bills?
I have, yeah.
You have?
But they have paid me back. I have other credit cards that they owe me money on.
They advised you almost a year ago that they were removing you as an authorized user of the account. Is that right?
Yeah, we requested that.
You
yeah.
requested that.
Mhm.
Are any of these bills after they
There
were
has-
removed as an authorized user of the account?
There hasn't been anything since
There
then.
hasn't been anything after that? Okay. Well, this is well over the $5,000 limit, Mr. Brown. But this is your responsibility. And if you feel as if the business didn't go anywhere, that you and your son went to, it failed?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Well, that's not their fault. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next...
All parties on Nocera versus Clark. Step forward, please.
60-year-old Sal Nocera says neighbor 22-year-old James Clark damaged his front door after Sal parked in his space.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 685 on the calendar in the matter of Nocera versus Clark. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
How long have the two of you been neighbors?
Since December.
Of 1990?
8, ma'am.
And how long have you been living on that property, sir?
I've been in my home for 19 years.
So you just moved in?
Yes, ma'am.
Evidently, there's some major parking problem here. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, is there a garage where the two of you park your car?
No, we have assigned spots. They are small. And
But
somewhat,
outdoor spots?
yes,
Okay, and your spot is next to Mr. Clark's.
one of my spots. He's actually got 3 spots.
Good for him. He's been there 19 times as long as you have, so now he has 3 spots.
Right.
But one of his spots is next to your spot.
Correct.
And I gather that from the time Mr. Clark moved in, there has been an ongoing problem. Is that right?
Yes, it's very difficult to park in the back. I don't have much problem as I have a compact car, an 87 Honda, and the Clarks have a pickup truck, somewhat large, but...
it's a Ranger. It's a small truck. It's not a big truck.
It's a truck.
Right.
It's bigger than his car.
Not really, Your Honor. It's a light-duty truck. Doesn't have a standard cab. It's not very big. It doesn't take up a lot of parking spot. I mean...
Okay, but you've had ongoing problems with each other about this spot, about hanging over a little bit on his side and hanging over a little bit on your side. So this problem started, you got angry one day at him.
Correct.
I'm not going to go into the whole history of it. He says you came banging at his door.
Correct.
And you damaged the door. So, what brought you to his door?
Well, the fact that he parked in my parking spot intentionally, just to be snippy, just to instigate an incident. So I got mad at it. So I parked off street and I went up to his door and I started banging on his door. Now when I banged on his door, I noticed that it was loose and damaged up top, so I began to bang on the bottom. So, you know, I'm banging, I'm telling him to come out, and, you know, so he can move his car. Now, before I went up, I noticed there was a letter hanging on his window saying, I have video footage of my car. If there's any damage, I will take you to court, as if I was going to do something to his car, which I wasn't. I just wanted him to move it. And that's what I was asking him to do. The whole time I'm yelling up to his window, please move your car, please move your car. Now, he mentions in his letter that I made a homophobic remark to him, which I did, and I apologized to him for that. I had no right to say that to him. But, but other than that, as far as the damage to his door, it never happened. And I have a witness, my wife, went up to his house. He was having interior work done, and he had invited her to his house. This was in December when we were on okay terms. And she noticed, and she can testify that his door was already, and it's rusted up top, and he already had damage done to his door. Because when I spoke to the detective...
Don't tell me what the detective said.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Nacera, he says, and you seem to indicate as well, that just prior to that, he had parked in your space or a little bit over your space. You went up to tell him to move his car, or you called to tell him to move his car, and he was in the shower. Is that right?
That's correct. That was that same day.
The same day. And your wife was at home?
Yes, Your Honor.
You drive?
No, I don't.
And you said, wait until I get out of the shower.
Right. Actually, I knew the car was not parked in the spot. When I had went out there after the shower, a quarter of an inch on the white line. On the white line. The white line's about this thick. My tires were a quarter of an inch on the white line, not in his parking spot.
Does that sound familiar to you, that you had a complaint that day?
Pretty much. That is, as I say, it is very difficult to get into those spots. Often the clocks will park on the white line or in the white line on the front and slightly over the white line in the back. That makes it
There's
impossible.
bars in the way. There's no way I can...
Now, Mr. Nacera, according to Mr. Clark, sir, there was a time when you were friendly with his wife.
Yes, sure.
Until when?
Well, since December, there were incidences of where the car was parked over the line, either the front or the back. And Mr. Clark chooses to leave his tailgate down, which adds about 1.5 feet to the car, his truck. It makes it very difficult to get in, even with my Honda Civic. On that day that he says he's mistaken, I was in my spot, not over the line. I mean, I wouldn't purposely. I have pictures, Your Honor. I have a videotape.
And you'll actually see on the pictures that the door is actually ripped out.
Just a second, I haven't seen
I don't know
anything.
how banging caused that.
I haven't seen anything. It depends upon how hard you bang, sir.
Let's see. This is the wall inside, Your Honor, the damage that was done to inside my home.
How did he cause damage inside as a result of the banging?
Yes, he started off banging pretty hard. Somewhere about 10 minutes into this incident, he was pounding on the door, pounding on my window, ringing the doorbell.
Is that when he made his homophobic remark?
Yes, he was quite outraged, and he was saying pretty bad stuff. I don't know if I can repeat it here. There was a lot of F words, but he was very, very angry. And I was not about to open the door. In fact, I was on the 911 call, having the police come to try to work something out here, and the operator, in fact, heard the commotion and advised me not to...
Does the videotape have any part of this banging on the door?
Yes, it sure does.
May I see it, please?
On February the 15th, at somewhere between 11:30, 12 o'clock on that night, when he vandalized my door, you'll see a few seconds of it because it's going to be very dark, and you may see...
He never opened the door.
You can see the...
That's...
He came up about 12 o'clock last night. He was banging on the door and banging on the door and banging on the door and ringing the doorbell. I mean, he was just livid.
This is the second incident of him pounding, which I
want to listen.
Can you answer the door, please?
Very violent.
I think it's the downstairs neighbor in 103. This is the second time. The last time he smashed my security door and caused damage to the wall inside. And now he's wanting me to come out and talk to him. I do not.
I think that is basically it.
And the second time I actually responded to that second time when I came to his door, it's because he sent me this letter in the mail. And at the bottom he puts, P.S. You are asked to respond to this letter in the normal time allowed. I don't get letters all the time, but I figured, okay, maybe he calmed down and maybe he wants to speak to the incident. So I originally sent my wife up there to speak to him because I figured maybe he doesn't want to talk to me. And so he shuts the door on my wife, and then I thought, well, maybe he just wants to deal with me because it's between me
No, you
and
didn't.
her.
You got angry that he shut the door on your wife. Mr. Clark.
No, it wasn't because of that, Your Honor. It wasn't because I thought maybe he wants to speak to me. So when I went up, I even asked him, can you see it on the tape, can you please open the door? He claims it was banging. I call it knocking, but I mean, I probably should have caused an earthquake, according to him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I said I touched his door. His door? Okay.
You
I
didn't
banged
touch
on
his door.
And later today,
You also say that you ought to pay the money back,
Verbally,
as opposed to what?
written contract.
You go to law school in between you driving a limousine?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sal knows Sarah wants his neighbor, James Clark, to pay for his damaged front door. James says Sal parked in his space, but he didn't damage the door.
Your Honor, I have tried also mediation through the court. Mr. Clark refused. I have that here. I have the police officer's report, the detective's report. I have estimates of the work.
Let me see. When did this incident occur? February of ¡99?
Yes, that would be the 15th. The second one was, I think, the 22nd, as indicated on the videotape.
I have to read something, Mr. Nacera. All right. The police officer noticed the following and made note of the following in his police report. He took a picture of the damage to the screen door. He also noted that the screen was pulled out from the frame about 6 inches and the securing welds had been broken. I checked the door frame and noticed 2 stress cracks about 8 inches long in the upper right-hand corner of the door frame. The plaintiff advised me that the cracks were not there before Clark's knocking and the banging incident. We're not talking about rust here to the door, sir. We're talking about a door being knocked off the welds, and we're talking about stress cracks. Now, do you have an estimate?
Yes, there are 2 estimates from 2 different places on the replacement of the security door. The other estimate is from the painter who painted. I saved 2.5 years to have my unit painted. And may I also, Judge, note that Mr. Clark did not apologize to me. However, he did say to the police officer that he did call me faggot.
I tried to apologize to him the second time I came up to his door, and he wouldn't answer it. He put in the letter that he wanted me to respond to it, and when I went up there, I told him that I apologized for making the homophobic remarks. That was it.
Well,
I didn't apologize for damage.
You can understand, sir, and I read what the remarks were, and they were pretty egregious. You could understand why he would not open the door if you're screaming that to him through his door.
That was the first time.
I'm talking about the first time. The first time is the time that I understand that this damage was done to the property. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, fine. So would you please indicate to me exactly what it cost to have this door repaired as well as...
Yes, right. The door cannot be repaired.
So you have to get a new door?
Yes, ma'am. It
And
has to be installed.
What is the cost of the door?
According to, I have 2. One is from a local place, $250 plus a $50 delivery charge. The other is from Home Depot, comes to $272.96.
And what about the replastering of the...
That was $70. It's indicated on...
Okay.
How could I have called damage to his wall?
Mr. Clark, let me tell you something. When you lose your temper, which you clearly did on that evening, you lost your temper. Whatever the consequences are, it's going to be very difficult for you to establish to me, since he has testified that this was not there before. Is that right?
That's correct.
The fact that you say that it was an old door and that it was rusted on top, that has absolutely no consequence.
But my wife saw that the door was busted when she went up there. I mean, way before this incident happened, Your Honor. She saw the door. She saw his apartment complex. She saw it was being worked on by interior decorators.
Did you check the welding on the door when you went up there?
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
She didn't check the welding on the door. This is an old door.
She's
not
an
saying it's a
expert.
new door.
She can see that the door is broken, it's loose up top. She doesn't have to see all the
I want to
rivets.
tell you something. If your wife was to stand there and tell me that she noticed when she went up there on a social visit that the welding that held the door in place was broken, I wouldn't believe her, and I wouldn't even ask her
But
that
it was
question.
already broken, so when I went to bang on the door, of course it's going to bang. It's going to get even more loose.
Oh, then you're responsible.
I'm not responsible.
No, you are responsible. If
His door was already damaged.
Mr.
How
Clark,
could I have made damage to something that's already damaged?
You're not paying attention, sir. Did you hear what you just said? You just said if the door was already damaged, and because I banged on it, it was damaged further. I'm not responsible.
No.
That's exactly what you said to me.
I said I touched his door.
His door?
Okay.
You
I
didn't
banged
touch
on
his door.
His door was already damaged. I mean, how can I not knock on it and for it to not get loose? That's just not physically possible.
Mr.
His
Clark.
door was already broken, so I'm banging on it. It's already broken, so I'm not gonna. I mean, how could I have broken it?
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $340. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've been there 19 years. It's a nice small complex. We're sort of very tightly knit. I would like the Clarks to fit in if we can only work out the parking situation.
I can put it behind me, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk to the guy as far as I'm concerned. He's just a neighbor.
And now the next case.
All parties on Black versus Hamilton. Step forward, please.
35-year-old limousine company owner Dolores Black is suing former driver David Hamilton for a loan. David is countersuing for the cost of Armani suits he used for uniforms.
Ms. Black, you own a limousine company?
That's correct.
And according to your complaint, the defendant was an employee of yours for some time. How long?
Off and on for a few years.
As a driver?
That's correct.
You loaned him some money, $2,000.
Yes,
He had
I
some
did.
financial difficulties. He paid you back $500, according to you, after you made some repeated attempts to try to collect the debt, and he still owes you $1,500.
That's correct.
Now, Mr. Hamilton, I read your answer. So your answer says that, well, you had some financial difficulties, and you acknowledge, sir, that you borrowed this money from the plaintiff. So far, is that right?
So far, so good.
You also say that you ought to pay the money back, right?
Verbally.
As opposed to what?
Written contract.
You go to law school in between you driving a limousine?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You say that as part of your job, you were required to look nice.
Expected.
Bought yourself an Armani suit, Brooks Brothers suit, a Canali suit. Then we got white shirts.
Perry Ellis.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Limousine company owner Dolores Black is suing former driver David Hamilton for a loan. David wants Dolores to pay for his designer uniforms.
Now, was there any time set for the repayment of this loan, Miss Black?
Yes, there was.
What was the time?
By the end of the month.
By the end of the month?
July of '98, that's correct.
Does that sound right to you?
No.
So you disagree on that, but it's not particularly relevant. Now, what I loved about your response was your counterclaim. You say that as part of your job, you were required to look nice.
Expected.
And that there was an agreement that the plaintiff would reimburse you 50% for your employee uniforms.
That's true.
Is that correct?
To a certain amount, that is correct.
Did he ever furnish you with bills for his uniforms?
No, he did not. And in fact, the employment contract states up to $150, which he signed, and Lonnie, an employee of the company, is the witness to that.
So here we go, and this is the best part. This is what your countersuit is. By the way, you do drive a limousine, which means you're supposed to be in a dark suit, right?
Correct.
Right. Nice black suit, and a white shirt, and a tie. Any color that you like, as long as it's conservative and it doesn't have a picture of Pluto on the front, right?
It depends who you're driving that week.
Bought yourself an Armani suit
Yes, ma'am.
for $1,200? Got good taste. Brooks Brothers suit, $700. This guy's got quite a sense of humor. A Canali suit for $700. How much money did you earn?
Average was probably $8 an hour. Gratuities could exceed $10 an hour on top of that.
So the grand total of $18 an hour.
that doesn't require an Armani suit for $1,200. Then we got white shirts. 10 shirts you bought at $40 a shirt.
Perry Ellis.
Love it. Now, this one would really send my husband into a tailspin. You know, he likes those ties 3 for $10 that you buy, you know. 6 ties at $45 a piece, $270. And here we go. This is almost my favorite. 2 pairs of shoes at $210 a pair. You don't even walk around as a limousine driver.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Your lawsuit's the most ridiculous thing I ever saw. I mean, I think you're probably almost embarrassed when you had to sign it. Now, why didn't you pay it back at $1,500?
Financial difficulties.
How'd you pay for your Armani suit?
You gotta look nice.
How did you pay for your Armani suit?
Paid for it in full.
How?
Cash or check.
I can't deal with him. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All parties on Fleming versus Bradburn. Step forward, please.
Bar owner Robert Fleming is suing his former bartender, 24-year-old Brandy Bradburn, for not repaying a loan. Brandy is countersuing for her last paycheck.
Order. All rise. Judge, this is case number 605 on the calendar in the matter of Fleming versus Bradburn.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Fleming, I've read your complaint. It indicates that the defendant was an employee of yours in your bar.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And she was there for how long?
About 10 months.
What kind of work did she do?
She was a bartender.
According to you, you made a loan to her of some money.
That's correct.
And she didn't repay that loan?
Not yet, no.
What was the money for?
Well, it was to pay off a speeding fine which had gone to a warrant. It was for minor repairs to her car, which she couldn't get insurance on. It needed smogging, and she wanted to pay the licensing for it too.
And how did the loan come about?
Well, one evening she was closing up after the day's trading, and I noticed she was crying. She was pretty upset, and I assumed that one of the customers or something had happened to upset her. When I inquired as to what was wrong, she was a bit reluctant to tell me at the start, but finally I said, look, leave the money alone, because if you're not counting it properly, she couldn't concentrate, and sit down and tell me what the problem is. Finally she did, and she said that this speeding fine had gone to a warrant. She was concerned, very worried, that she was going to be arrested, etc., etc. She had an estimate for the repairs and approximate for everything, and it came to about $650. So I said, look, I'll lend you the money. Don't worry about it anymore. Concentrate on your job. You're no good to me if you can't, if you can't concentrate. And we'll get this matter sorted out. You can pay me monthly. She said, Bob, if you lend me the money, I'll pay you weekly. I said, fine, not a problem. I paid the speeding fine the very next day, and then later, it was 2 days later or something, I gave her the money for the repairs, for the smog, for the insurance, and the licensing of the vehicle.
Did you personally pay the speeding ticket?
Yes, I did.
And how did you go about doing that?
On a credit card over the telephone.
Had she given you the ticket?
No, she gave me the details, and I called the Riverside Police Station. They had it on file, of course.
When you say she gave you the information, how did she give you the information which enabled you to call the Riverside Police?
She gave me her name, date of birth, license number of the vehicle, the date that the booking occurred.
Okay. You clearly acknowledge that he paid this ticket.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's start with the ticket. Tell me your version of the events about the ticket.
I did get the slip. I got it in the mail, and I took it to work with me that day. So it wasn't at night when I was counting my money out, and I was upset about it, but I wasn't hysterical. And I did talk to Bob about it. We were friends at one point, and I did talk to him about it, and he did tell me not to worry about it. And I had left the slip there that I'd gotten in the mail the next day when I came in Bob handed it to me and he said, I paid this for you. I told him that I would have to pay him back, and he told me not to worry about it. And then we went through this forever about me asking to pay it back and he telling me not to worry about it.
Let's get to the other money that you borrowed from him. What'd you borrow that for?
Ma'am, I did not. Bob had given me a check one time for $1,500 that I ripped and promptly gave back to him.
Smogging your car, insurance on your car, license plates for your car. He didn't pay for any of that for you?
No, he didn't.
You have any proof, sir, that you gave her money other than paying this ticket?
Yeah, Mr. McCarthy was there when I gave it to her. It was in the morning.
Is this your partner?
Yes.
Step up, sir. Mr. McCarthy?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you present when he gave her the other $400?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he give it to her in check or cash?
Cash.
You saw her accept it in her hand?
That's correct.
Bob never, ever, ever, at any given point, ever gave me cash in my hand, ever. And about the loan that he says it's a loan, Bob pulled me aside numerous times. I mean, we have this whole sexual harassment thing going on. I mean,
you're going to tell me about your counterclaim in a minute. Right now, I'm talking about his lawsuit, which I find a couple of things suspect about your answer. Let me read you a few things from your answer.
Okay.
First of all, you just told me that this was a gift. He said to you, don't worry about paying me back, don't worry about anything else. Right. But in your answer, which is your sworn statement, you say, Bob told me that if I did his books at work, he would pay me $50 a week in cash and deduct $50 a week from the ticket he paid for me.
Right, Your Honor, but in my defense, I was after him all the time. My mother even offered to pay that money to him. I offered to pay it. Finally, he said, if it really means that much to you, you can help me out doing my books, and I'll take $50 off and pay you $50.
Good. So then there was an agreement that you would do his books and he would deduct $50 a week.
Right.
How long did you do his books?
Approximately a month and a half.
Did you do your books?
Yeah, she was helping with the paperwork. Yeah.
About how long?
Like she said, about a month and a half.
Okay, so that's 6 weeks. And did you pay her?
6 weeks.
Did you pay her for doing that, or did you actually deduct the $50 a week?
No, not to my recollection, I didn't.
So 6 weeks, $50 is?
$300.
Okay. So that we're clear. I believe that he gave you this other money, and including the parking ticket, you owe him $650. I'm deducting the $300 that you should have got for doing the books, because you should get credit for that. That was your agreement. That leaves $350 left. Now let's get to your counterclaim. Ms. Bradburn, say in your counterclaim that he refused to give you your last paycheck.
Correct.
Tell me about it.
Okay, the night that I left work, I'd left really upset and I'd quit and I'd walked out. 2 days later, I'd called him and asked him if I could pick up my check. He was at the bar. He told me, yeah, fine, whatever. It was a real short conversation. So I went down there that evening with Rich, who was my boyfriend at the time. I went down there that evening to pick up my check. The bartender that was working told me that my check was not there. I asked her if she would get Bob on the phone. She got Bob on the phone. I talked to him. By the time I got off the phone with him, I was in tears. He called me all sorts of things, told me I wasn't getting the money.
How much money did he owe you at that point?
Approximately $300 is the minimum I should have got for the time I'd worked.
How many days' pay was that?
A week and a half.
When she left, was there money outstanding?
She had a paycheck to pick up. Yes, there was.
How much?
I think it was, from memory, I think it was $160. That's all.
Did she pick it up?
No, she didn't. I haven't seen her since the time she left. This is the first time I've laid eyes on her. And I haven't spoken to her in the meantime. I tried on several occasions to contact her. Her telephone had been disconnected. I talked with friends of hers who said that she had moved back home with her parents into some house that they just recently rented. Nobody knew where it was. I finished up calling her grandmother on 3 occasions and left messages there.
What were you calling her for?
To find out what to do with her paycheck, where to send it to. I had no address, I had nothing.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, that's all a crock of... If he had my grandmother's number, he obviously had my mother's number. He never once tried to call them.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I, quite frankly, Mr. Fleming, don't think that somebody is in business like you are as Santa Claus.
And later today...
Everybody has one life to live. Unless you think you're going to come back as an Eskimo pie. Right? You have one life to live.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bar owner Robert Fleming claims former bartender Brandy Bradburn owes him for a loan. Brandy says Robert owes her for her last paycheck.
Mr. Fleming, let me tell you something. You know, sometimes a little bit of truth on this side and a little bit of truth on this side, sir. I don't know of an employer who was acting reasonably that would make as many phone calls and contacts as you just told me you did to try to give her $160. Maybe my boss would do that if I moved. No, he wouldn't. But I don't know of any normal person who would do that ran a business establishment. Now, if you told me that you called her to find out whether you were going to get your money back, that I could understand.
I didn't call her for that purpose.
Why not?
I wrote it off, to be honest with you. I thought, well, that's the end of that.
You see, my problem is, let me tell you what doesn't make sense, Mr. Fleming. What doesn't make sense is you're prepared to write off the money that she owes you.
Right.
But you're not prepared to write off money that you owe her.
Well,
that doesn't make sense to me.
It was her wages.
Does that make sense to you?
Not at all.
One is, you say it's her wages.
She did.
Mr. Fleming. Look at your partner over there. He's got it. You see, if somebody owed me money and walked out and quit in a huff over whatever reason, right, I would say I'm going to get stiffed from the money she borrowed from me. What you're saying is you owed her at most $160. So if I were a person, I would use my math and I would say to myself, I'm still in the hole $70, right? But at least I'm going to write off her pay for what she owes me. Because I, quite frankly, Mr. Fleming, don't think that somebody is in business like you are, a Santa Claus.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Sure, step up. Who are you?
I'm Brandy's mother.
Go ahead.
I know for a fact that she did not borrow $400 from this man. We knew that there was a ticket. She'd gotten the notice. She'd taken it to work. She'd left it there. She came back the next day. It was paid. I went up to this gentleman.
Just a second. You don't know any of that. You don't know any of that. That's what your daughter told you.
That's what I told her.
Shh. That's what your daughter told you. What are you looking at me like that for? What am I saying to you that you don't understand? What I'm saying to you is you don't know that. You know what your daughter told me. She's already told me the story. The fact that she repeated the story to you doesn't make it true.
Your Honor.
Why are you looking so confused? Are you confused about what I said?
Well, it's very simple. I know for a fact that she didn't take the money.
How do you know
my
that?
daughter.
Just because you know your daughter. Sit
Period.
down.
I
Sit
know
down.
my daughter.
Sit down. No, all right. $650 less $300, which you should have gotten for taking care of his books, leaves $350. Now, since neither one of you can tell me exactly how much your last paycheck was, because you don't have a clue, you have.
I can give you the last 3 paychecks prior to it, Your Honor.
Fine. What were they?
Strike an average, and I've also.
Good.
One was for 160. One was for 110.
Mm-hmm.
One was for 177.50.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was 205. And part of that.
And that's a week, is that right?
Right.
That's right.
That's a week.
That's
so
$5
all of a
an
sudden,
hour.
so just a second. So all of a sudden, you made twice as much?
No. I didn't
just
say
told-
that. I didn't say that. I was just adding in the fact that he said he was going to pay me on top of that. So I just added the $50 for that week.
I'm just looking at your last 4 paychecks, madam.
Understood.
They didn't get to $300. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. I'm averaging the last paycheck at $150. Thank you very much. That's all.
As I excuse, you may step out.
I think he's a big liar. He always has been, and a cheat and a thief.
Don't lend money out to people. They only end up screwing you.
He's asking me to marry him and have his children and dump my boyfriend and change my life and touching me and grabbing me and keeping me and irritating me, so I left.
There's never been any harassment.
And now the next case.
All parties on Redding versus Ullman. Step forward, please.
36-year-old Carlene Redding claims her ex-husband, 41-year-old Thayer Ullman, owes her for a credit card bill. Thayer says that bill was covered in the divorce.
How long are you folks divorced?
It's been approximately 2 years.
Is that correct?
2.5.
Did you have an attorney?
Yes.
Did you have an attorney?
Yes, I did.
This lawsuit, Ms. Redding says that your former husband caused you to have a credit card bill that you think he should pay for.
Yes.
He says that that was all resolved in the divorce, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see the judgment of divorce while I'm asking you some questions. See it, please.
It's on page 3 of the property. So
Now, Ms. Redding, What credit card is this?
Citibank Visa.
When were you separated?
Probably 6 months before that.
6 months before the divorce? Is that right?
Yes.
September of '96 is the date of your divorce. On page 2, which is an important part, you directed me to page 3, but on page 2 it says the petitioner and respondent shall each indemnify the other. That means that you'll cover the other for court costs. And it further says that any other debts or obligations incurred in his name, is your name, since the separation are yours. Right?
That's right.
That's what it says. So 6 months prior to your divorce would be March of '96. So show me these bills that you have from Citibank Visa that you claim he is responsible for.
This card was run up way before she even left anyway, because it was already maxed out.
I just want to see, sir, if there are any charges there after March of 1996. If there weren't any charges on that card that were yours after 1996, then Miss Redding is responsible because she agreed to pay the Citibank card in the divorce.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're the one who's ultimately going to suffer. You put a period to the end of this relationship, you got a divorce, move on with it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carlene Redding is suing her ex-husband, Thayer Ullman, for a credit card bill.
So, Miss Redding, what I want to see are those charges that were made after March of 1996. This Citibank Visa card you agreed to pay for in the judgment of divorce. You were represented by an attorney.
Yes.
Fine. So this card had a substantial balance on it.
I did not run it up.
Listen to me. Matt, let me take care of this business my way first. What is Klepper's Corner?
That's a gas station, Your Honor.
Do you use that?
I put probably 4 or 5 charges in the gas. We both did.
I'm talking about after March of '96.
I didn't think there was any charges after.
March of
she had
'96,
left.
I have a Klepper's Corner, $19. Another Klepper's Corner, and that's gas. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
For $23. And another, what's Phillips?
It's a gas station, too.
It's a gas station. Well, who fills up there?
No.
Not me. I pay cash.
Do you still live in the same area?
No, I live in Salina, Kansas.
And where do you live?
I live in Fallon, Kansas, which is a small town outside Salina.
But you live in Salina?
Yes.
When did you move there?
Shortly after our divorce.
After your divorce or after your separation?
Separation.
Well, then these are all your bills.
That's right.
Because this is all from Salina, Kansas. All of these gas cards are from Salina, Kansas. And they're not very much to begin with. Let me tell you what they are. Talking about $100. Period. The rest of the bills are yours, madam. I mean, so what did you bring him here for? Come on, talk to me.
I can't afford to pay this.
Well, but that's not his fault. And the judgment of divorce clearly says that any bills that were incurred after the parties separated are their own individual bills. Now, you understood this, right?
To a certain extent, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't come back 2 years later and say, I just can't afford to pay it, and they want to do a do-over.
Your Honor, can I
What?
say- When we separated, she had the choice of what bill she was going to pay. For 2 years, she has done nothing but harassed me, harassed my family. My daughter has gone to a counselor for over 6 months because of this woman. I don't belong here.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. Are you in a family dispute? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Miss Redding,
Yes, ma'am.
this marriage is over.
Yes.
You have no children together?
No.
Good. You had a divorce? You had counsel? It's finished. And I'm just going to say to you that everybody has one life to live, unless you think you're going to come back as an Eskimo pie, right? You have one life to live. And if you're going to spend your life on a lot of negative energy, you're the one who's ultimately going to suffer. You put a period to the end of this relationship, you got a divorce, move on with it. These are your responsibilities. You have to take care of them. You got to leave him alone, because if you don't have children together, there is absolutely no reason for you to have any contact with this man or his family. And if you do, one of these days, he's going to file a lawsuit with you civilly for harassment, or he's going to have you arrested criminally for harassment. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That's going to be very unpleasant. This case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
All parties on Sewell versus Ware. Step forward, please.
40-year-old clerk Carol Sewell is suing former boyfriend, 29-year-old James Ware, for keying her car and ripping a gold chain from her neck. James is countersuing for damage to his car and harassment.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 674 on the calendar in the matter of Sewell versus Ware. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
All right, Miss Sewell, you and the defendant had been involved in some sort of a relationship. He went to jail, according to your complaint. When he got out of jail, he keyed your car. Is that right?
Yes, he did.
Did you see him do it?
I seen him do it the second time. The first time, my sister saw him do it.
Step up, you. What was he in jail for, by the way? What were you in jail for, sir?
She sent me to jail for, well, it wasn't jail. I caught a parole violation. The way the parole system works is all she has to do is make a complaint, and they put me back in prison.
How long were you on parole?
I was on parole for 4 years.
What were you originally incarcerated for?
Involuntary manslaughter.
And during that parole period, she called and registered a complaint about you.
Yes.
Was her complaint domestic violence?
More or less. I have her charges here.
Let me see. And when you went back to jail, how long did you serve, sir?
She did it a couple times. The first time was 6 months, and the second time was 2 years.
You did 6 months, but that wasn't on a parole violation.
Well, yeah, it was on a parole violation that I did a 6-month violation because she said that I had stole her gold chains, and she's done this a couple of times. It's like a fatal attraction that she has for me.
All right. Listen to me. Did you ever witness him keying her car?
Yes, I did. The first
What's
scratch.
your name?
Sandra Masal.
Miss Masal, when was that?
It was the end of October. He came to my house on a Saturday.
October of 98?
98. Came to my house about 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, knocked on the door. I got up because she was asleep, and I asked who it is. He said, Jamie, and he looked in my window, the top of the door, and I said, just a minute. And I went and woke her up, and I said, Carol, Jamie's out there, and I told you I don't want him on my property anymore. So she gets up, she goes outside, stayed out there about 20 minutes. She came back in, and I was watching out my bedroom window, and he walked over to the car with his key and went right down the side of her car.
Jamie, this lady is telling me the truth. When did you get out of jail?
I got out of jail August 29, 1998.
8/29. So a month later, you're at her house.
No, I live with my fiance.
No. A month later, you went to her house.
No, I didn't.
You mean to tell me she's lying when she says you even came to the house to talk to her?
Very true.
In October?
I haven't been allowed at her house, Your Honor, for
that never
a couple years.
Jamie. You have to be careful, because then I won't believe anything that you tell me. Now, tell me about the gold chains.
Well,
you say you have the receipts for the gold chains. She says you ripped them off her neck.
yes, Your Honor. She's made malicious stories up on several occasions.
Well, I understand that. Your defense is not that it didn't happen. You said they're my chains, and I have the receipts for them.
Yeah, here's the receipt.
All right, so there you go. Let me see the receipt, please.
Sure. I'm unsure of what chain she's talking about.
Just a minute. Jamie. Jewelry. Where'd you get this from?
This was...
Where'd you get this from, Jamie?
Grand Discount Store.
No, where did you get it from in order to bring it to court today?
This was part of my parole packet. These were the letters that she had sent. This was stuff that I'd saved while I was incarcerated.
Where did you get this receipt from?
Where did I buy the chain, Your Honor? This Grand Discount.
Jamie, we're going to go over this one more time. Otherwise, I'm going to send you outside, give you a copy of my first book. You know what the title is?
What is it, Your Honor?
Tell him, Bird.
Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
So I'm going to ask you again, Janie. Where did you get this piece of paper with the date 11/4/96?
Okay, that goes with the copy of the report that I handed you. She said that I had sold her chain in '96. I'm unsure of what chain she's talking about.
She's talking about the one you ripped off her neck.
Well, see, she said that I had stole... Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. She said, I don't know, Your Honor.
Well, tell me about how he ripped this gold chain off your neck.
I bought them gold chains at the Grand Discount over there by my job, 2 years, a year while he was locked up.
When did he rip them off your neck is what I want to know.
November 12th, 1998, at my job, when he brought the hatchet up to my job, which is on the police report that I have, charging him with a felony of robbery.
Okay.
That's what she says, sir. She said you came up to her job, you ripped the gold chains off her neck. Police report was filed on that date, November 12th, 1998. Are you telling me, Jamie, that you were never in her office?
No, that's her birthday, Your Honor, my fiancée.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Are you telling me that you were not in her office on that day?
Yes, Your Honor, that's what I'm saying.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I was with my fiancée on her birthday.
I have a witness that he was with them that day, after he went to my job.
Name?
Donald Souders. I've just gotten off that work that day, Your Honor, and he stopped by. Well, actually, he called me first.
Were you friends?
Yeah, we were friends until, you know, some mishaps. But he called me. We were supposed to go to the gym that night. So, you know.
On November 12th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, it was his girlfriend's birthday. How come he wasn't with her?
I don't know. He was with us. He was with me, my cousin, and my brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
As we were getting ready to leave, we've gotten a page with a 911 saying the police were looking for him. So we didn't know nothing, you know, about it till when we got home. And that's when he handed us the chain and said, give him back to Carol. We asked him why. He said because he went down there to get his pager and she wouldn't give it. He took a hatchet, was going to smash in her car if he didn't give the pager back. Then he snatched the chain. I told him he should have went about it a legal way to get that pager back. And he said it was too late and to give the chains back, and he left.
And what did you do with the chains?
I tried to call Carol up and see if she wanted them back because I didn't really want to get involved, but she was upset.
Where are the chains now?
She has them in her car.
Well, why didn't you bring them in so I could see them?
They're in the car. I forgot to bring them.
All right.
I got the halves in the car.
Show me the bill for the paint job on your car where he keyed it.
Your Honor?
What?
I was in Oregon on November 12th with my fiancée.
So you mean he's lying and she's lying?
They're lying completely. I wasn't even in California on the 12th. That was her birthday, Your Honor.
Show me.
I was completely unprepared for that.
You mean to tell me the police never tried to contact you?
They never
Jamie, listen to me carefully, sir. Are you telling me that the police officer in this case never tried to contact you or never contacted you with regard to this complaint? Is that what you're telling me?
Your Honor, I cannot recall. I do recall, however.
No, don't tell me that you were in Oregon.
Honestly, Your Honor, I don't recall.
Well, you better recall, sir. I'm going to tell you why. Because if I were facing 25 years to life as a predicate felon, I would be very well aware of the fact that the police department contacted me on another violation. So I want you to think about it. I would be more aware of that than I would be whether or not I spent my girlfriend's birthday with her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There's something wrong with you. No. You had him put in jail because he raped you and violated you. Then you sent him nude pictures of yourself. What are you, Coco?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carol Sewell claims former boyfriend James Ware keyed her car and stole her gold chains. James says he paid for the chains and is countersuing for damage to his car and harassment.
Mr. Ware, On your best day, you're not as smart as I am on my worst day.
It's
Do you
very
understand?
true. I understand.
Okay. Do you have an estimate on keying the car?
I have the estimates, the picture.
Let me see it.
To my car. The IOUs, the canceled checks he owes me for.
All right, the lowest estimate is $1,200. Now, you have a counterclaim.
Yes.
You say she keyed your car.
Yes, she did.
And she's been harassing you.
Yes, she has.
Okay, let me hear, Mr. Ware.
Well, she did key my car, all right? She drives by my house yelling out malicious statements. She calls my phone and hangs up.
She calls your phone and hangs up. How do you know it's her?
Well, because when my mother answers, she won't say anything, and if I say hello, she'll respond.
Just a minute. So when you answer the phone, she talks.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's not a hang-up.
When everybody else answers, she hangs up.
So how do you know it's her?
Because she might have to call several times before I answer.
Okay. What's next?
She threw new pictures of herself in my girlfriend's, my fiance's car.
Let me see.
I have a witness to the keying of my car.
Listen to me. Shh. Did you ever put pictures of yourself undressed in his girlfriend's car?
No, I didn't.
Well, how did he get these pictures?
I was out in front of his house talking to his girlfriend.
Yeah?
He took the picture of me sitting in the car, and then he took... That's not his car. That's his father's car, by the way.
Do me a favor.
Sure.
Show her these pictures.
Well, them pictures?
Hey!
Oh, these pictures, I sent him to him in prison. That's how he got the pictures. You're allowed to send new pictures to prison.
Just a second. When did you send them?
It was when he was in Avenal.
That's when you had him put in jail?
Yeah, when I put him in jail.
There's something wrong with you.
I know.
You had him put in jail, according to you, because he raped you and violated you. That's you said in the and then you sent him nude pictures of yourself.
Your Honor.
What are you, Coco? Gee whiz. I just changed my mind. What a nut. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
I understand what you're talking about. I've told her.
Keep going, Mr. Ware. You're getting to look better and better to me. Hey,
Order.
Quiet. Or I'll clear the courtroom.
Now you understand. She drives by my house. There's pictures of her yelling at my fiance, harassing her, Your Honor.
I suggest you move, Mr. Ware. You have not
been...
been...
Your Honor. I was living with her, and she was driving by, harassing her, and she called my house, you know. It's just nice that it's finally recognized. It was 2 years of my life, Your Honor, that I spent in prison because of the things she does. Here's letters that I just like to submit.
Yeah, but you went up to her office and you took your gold chains back. You know, I try to get to the truth, sir. I try to get to the truth. You tell me the truth all the time, I'll listen to you. But you got to tell me the truth all the time, sir.
She knows, Your Honor, she knows a lot of it. I can't even say it. It really hurts me to say things like this.
Just a second.
He witnessed the keying of my car. Those pictures were taken just this Sunday. Gary, he was out there. He saw her drive up. She was yelling. She was upping up her lawsuit to $2,000.
Step up here, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Well, you better see to it that she gets some psychiatric help, madam. What?
She's nuts.
I'm afraid
She's nuts.
of him.
Yeah,
Your sister.
Yeah.
Right.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Carol Sewell is suing former boyfriend James Ware for keying her car and ripping gold chains from her neck.
When did you observe her driving by his house?
Sunday just passed, Your Honor.
Did you drive by his house this last Sunday?
Yes, I did.
For what?
Well, last week he came up to me and he got me and he wanted money. So to feed his dogs, I wrote him a check because I didn't have the cash on him. Then he brought his father up to my job and said that I didn't have no money, so I told him to return me the check then. But I had money.
Did you take a check from her?
No.
What is she talking about?
I don't even know, Your Honor. She sat out front of my mother's house. One time I had got out of prison for 3 days waiting for me to show up. She's witness to that. She followed me to my job, stopped me. I lost my job, a letter of termination, because she's yelling, cricking, screaming, yelling, how could I cheat on you at my job? It wasn't the best job, Your Honor, and I'm not proud to say I was making pornos.
Something is wrong with you, madam. You better go to see a psychiatrist.
For
you
what?
better go see a psychiatrist.
For what?
Because you can't leave him alone.
Leave him alone? I work 13 hours a day.
You
I don't have
can't-
time to be
Listen
bothered.
to me. You can't leave him alone. You want to know why I know that that's true? Because no person in their right mind who says somebody violated them the way you say he violated you would turn around and send nude pictures of themselves to prison.
That was 2 years ago.
I don't care. You had him sent to jail.
I did.
For sexually violating you. And then you turn around and send him nude pictures of yourself? There's something wrong with you. Big time. Big time. Are you a friend of hers?
No, I'm her sister.
Well, you better see to it that she gets some psychiatric help, madam.
We try.
What?
We tell her.
Well,
She don't
stand up
listen.
here. Stand up here. You tell her?
Yeah, she don't listen, and then he's just as bad as she is. He does the same thing to her.
Just a second. He may.
Yeah.
He may. She's your sister. She's coming here and telling me she filed a complaint. She said she had him sent to jail.
Mm-hmm.
She had him sent to jail for raping and violating her.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, when he's in jail for violating her, she sends him provocative pictures. And when I asked her why, she said, because you're allowed to send nude pictures to people in jail. Right?
She's nuts.
I'm afraid
She's nuts.
of him.
Your sister.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
Listen to me.
afraid of him. That's what I am.
You're afraid of him.
I'm
People are
afraid
afraid.
of him.
Don't do this, madam. People are afraid.
Believe
Don't
me,
do that.
it's out of fear. He's threatened to kill me before, and I'm afraid.
Then you shouldn't go by his house. You shouldn't go by his house for anything. Nothing. Who saw her key his car? Step. I don't believe the fiancée. She was about to lie about a birthday, so I'm not listening to her. Who are you?
His neighbor.
His neighbor.
Yes, ma'am.
Your name?
Antonio Elizarraz.
Last name?
Elizarraz.
That's a hard one. Antonio, right?
Yes.
Tell me what you saw her do, if anything, to his car.
My window's right here, like, right in back, and I seen, like, around 11:15.
When was this?
On the 8th of Monday, March.
On the 8th of March of this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And her and another young man got off her car, and started hitting his car with a bat and breaking the windows and everything like that.
You saw that?
Yes, ma'am.
Here's a police report.
I don't know.
Let me see.
And the estimate to the car.
I never got out of my car.
Sir, are you positive it was her?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know it was her?
Because she drives a purple Thunderbird.
And it was the purple Thunderbird.
And almost every day she passes with her lights off, going down, up and down the streets.
How do you know that?
Because it's her. She works in Burger King.
And you've seen it?
I always go to Burger King. I see her every day.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
Mr. Ware, listen to me, sir. You've convinced me.
Okay.
How's that?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
How are you related to her?
I'm her nephew.
Well, you better all work on her to get some help.
We try, Your Honor.
Has she ever been psychiatrically hospitalized?
Nope.
Well, she's going to find herself in a very, very difficult situation because this man is going to be tested. You know, I'm not saying he did everything right. I believe that he probably did a key on her car because I believe you that he keyed her car. I believe that you keyed her car, sir. Trust me. I believe that she's telling me the truth because she has told me that her sister's crazy. Why would she tell me that her sister's crazy and lie about you? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I believe you keyed her car, and the estimate for the car is $1,200, right? Now, I also believe that she's made your life a holy hell. I don't believe that you're mentally unbalanced, but I believe that she's mentally unbalanced. The last 2 years that you did in prison, was that violation based solely on her complaint?
She said I stole her gold chains, threatened harassing her. She said I sodomized her. There's, what, 5 complaints? Sodomizer,
Okay. Forget about your gold chains. They're in the car. He keyed your car. To fix your car is $1,200. He says you've been harassing him, keying his car, and torturing him. I believe him. He's suing you for $5,000. I'm giving him $5,000. That means you get nothing, and he gets $3,800. Judgment for the defendant.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Is Judge Judy.
All parties on Moriarty versus Peter Fay. Step forward, please.
28-year-old student pilot Elliot Moriarty claims flight instructor Laszlo Peterfay is responsible for his plane running out of gas, forcing him to land on a California freeway. Elliot says he now suffers from fear of flying.
Order. All rise. This is case number 648 on the calendar in the matter of Moriarty versus Peter Fay. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Mr. Moriarty, I really, after all these years on the bench, thought that I had seen everything till I read your complaint. You were taking flying lessons.
Yes, Your Honor.
From him?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long did you take flying lessons from him?
I believe it was approximately 3 months.
Had you taken flying lessons from anyone else?
Not flying lessons, but a thrill ride at Torrance Airport.
What?
A thrill ride.
Thrill ride?
Right.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm an assistant manager.
What kind of company?
A restaurant.
You get to the restaurant by driving your car?
Bike.
You don't have a car?
No, Your Honor.
How old are you?
28 now.
So you were taking flying lessons, and then there came a time when you were flying solo, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you ran out of gas?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you landed on a freeway?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're suing him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you can explain that to me.
The explanation is this, Your Honor, that upon my entire training, I was never trained or taught on how to fuel an airplane. It's not like a car. I've asked him one time before, how do you fuel up? He told me, don't worry about it now, I'll show you later.
Fuel up. Now, what do you have to do to fuel up? When you're driving a car, you pull into either one of two lanes. Either it says full service, the one that I like, or self-service, the one that I don't understand at all. And then you get out, and I've seen people, they open up the thing, and they put the thing in the thing, and you fill up your car with gas.
I understand.
Does it work the same way with a plane?
No, Your Honor.
Do you put the gas in the plane?
No, Your Honor.
So somebody else puts the gas in a plane?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you go to a plane gasoline station.
No, what happens is, I guess you call somebody, either a frequency or by phone,
Yes.
and I was never included in...
You don't want me to think you're stupid, do you? So just answer my question. Periodically, a plane needs gasoline, because it doesn't fly on dreams.
Right.
Now, is there a gauge in the plane that says fuel?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
And it has a little stick? Because I know about that stick. With the cars today, they even talk to you. You're out of gas, you're out of gas. But I assume that they don't have that in planes. They have a gauge. You do know how to look at the gauge.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when it starts to get on empty,
well, I can give you the explanation.
Then you say to yourself, I think I need gas.
Well, here it is, Your Honor. Upon my solo cross country, I have to perform a dual cross country. Throughout that dual cross country, we did not fuel up at Santa Barbara or Santa Ynez, which...
So just a second. You went together
Yes.
on a dual cross country
Beforehand.
before you went solo.
Yes, Your Honor.
And during that trip, you didn't fuel.
No, Your Honor. We fueled up at Van Nuys, and when I made my flight plan, I put 4.5 hours, which is a direct reflection of a full tank for the type of aircraft I was flying. Now, his job as an instructor is to review my flight plan and to make sure there's no mistakes on it whatsoever. Upon his evaluation of my reviewing my flight plan, he just, I don't know, totally missed it. And we together went down, did a checked the airplane. I checked the fuel on the wings to make sure that it corresponds with the amount of fuel on the needle, which was approximately, if I remember correctly, about 2/3. I told him what it was in there. It was fine with him. So I'm the student, and he's the instructor. If it's fine with him, I felt, okay, then his judgment is correct.
Before I got in a plane, there'd be a full tank of gas, that's for sure. I mean, if I were ever stupid enough to get in a plane unless I had to go someplace.
Right, but he was totally aware of how much fuel I had. He didn't say anything about it.
You have no responsibility for this. I understand from here, from your papers, that you have footage of you landing on the freeway?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm dying to see that.
Very lucky, Your Honor.
Look at that plane. Looks like something you put together with those little sticks. You know? One fits in, you know what I'm talking about, Bert? Remember those things we used to have as kids? With balsam wood?
That's right.
Right? Flat thing, and you put one in the other, and you rubber band, and you go?
Little glider.
Wouldn't trust my life to one of those things.
Your Honor?
What?
Okay, well, first of all, see, all this started over him refusing to pay me my unused fee. After the incident, I basically induced naturally this fear of flying. I discontinued it.
So is this what it's about? You discontinued your flying, and you want your money back for what you didn't use?
Let me clarify that really good. Okay, when I discontinued, I wanted the remainder of my unused fees.
Right.
Now, he sent me a check the first time for $90.
How much do you think it is?
$147.
$147?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So why are you suing him for $3,100?
That's what I would like to get into. This basically escalated up to this point because when he decided to keep my money as if that wasn't enough experience for me, it made me rethink everything over again. And this is what I concluded that, okay, I ran out of fuel, I landed on the freeway. Okay, whose fault is it? Was it really my fault or was it his fault? When I rethought everything over, throughout my training, I've been given inadequate training and lack of supervision. His lack of supervision is not reviewing my flight plan correctly as he is responsible to do so by the federal aviation regulations. And in one of his letters, he stated to me, without dispute, he will refund my money back. As of to date, he has not.
Refund how much money?
The $147.
Fine, I have no problem with giving you back your $147. I have a problem with $3,100.
Well, if I can establish...
If you don't like, sir, the kind of instruction that you're getting from a pilot, then you say, I'm not satisfied with the quality of the training that you're giving me. What you're saying to me is a 28-year-old man who lands his plane on a freeway and walks away without a scratch, instead of getting down on the floor and thanking God that you landed on the freeway, decided to sue somebody. That's America.
No, Your Honor.
That's America. Not only decide to sue him for the remainder of your outstanding fees that you had already prepaid, that even I could understand, but sue him for everything else because we're a country of a lot of navel gazers. You know, you sit down here and say, now let me see, $147, but I really think that he gave me a fear of flying, and he didn't train me right all the 3 months I was a student, and you had a lot of time to think about it. You're lucky you weren't thinking about it with all of your appendages in casts. It would be ridiculous.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When you wrote him the letter, you should have said, here's the check for $147. I'm very sorry you're not using my services anymore. Goodbye and good luck. And next time, try an airport.
And later today...
You used her library card and you took out 23 books. And then she starts getting billed for $1,000 because you didn't return the books. Baloney.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elliot Moriarty says his flight instructor, Laszlo Peterfey, is responsible for his plane running out of gas, forcing him to land on a California freeway. Laszlo is countersuing for loss of work.
Now, let's get to your ridiculous counterclaim. You want to tell me about it, or you just want to say, I'm sorry, I'm withdrawing it?
Actually, no, ma'am.
All right, so now I'm ready for you.
The counterclaim is I wrote Mr. Moriarty a letter stating that I don't want to dispute the $147, and several days after this, I got a letter from the FAA, and based on the information that Mr. Moriarty provided the FAA, they wrote me a letter saying that if I don't respond within 10 days, my pilot certificates will be suspended. My livelihood is flying, so this jeopardized my career.
But they did not remove your certification.
Well, I had to go for a re-examination.
Just a second. You had a hearing and had to go for a recertification, is that right? Now, what you're suggesting, sir, is that he does not have the right to complain about what he believes is inadequate training to the appropriate authority, which in this case was the FAA. Well, the First Amendment to the Constitution says you can complain to anybody about anybody else as long as you are not doing it out of malice. And I believe that even though he's wrong, he believes, after looking at his belly button for a long time, that you didn't give him adequate training, because if you had given him adequate training, he wouldn't have taken off in a plane that didn't have a full tank of gas.
Well, I can prove that I gave him adequate training.
Listen to me. He says he showed you the flight plan when he was going solo, that there was 3/4 of a tank of gas there, and he says he landed on the freeway. All right? So he said he didn't get adequate training. He's allowed to complain to you. I am not going to give him $3,100 that he's asking for, because as far as I'm concerned, he's a grown man, and a grown man who drives a car and who drives a plane ought to know that when the needle goes to empty, you got to get gas. So I'm going to give him his $147, and I tell you, sir, that it would have been wiser for you, instead of responding to him and saying to him, I will not dispute your $147, when you wrote him the letter, should have sent him a check. Should have said, here's the check for $147. I'm very sorry you're not using my services anymore. Goodbye and good luck. And next time, try an airport.
Your Honor. Your Honor, I have a witness here who is a certified flight instructor. He also has an airline transport pilot rating. He has come to me on his own because he evaluated me, and he would like to provide some expert testimony on
about
my training.
What?
About my inadequate training and lack of supervision I was provided.
Listen to me. Do you tap dance?
No, Your Honor.
If you take tap dancing lessons and you don't like the instructor, then you don't use the instructor, you go someplace else.
Your Honor, but when I'm the student, how do I know if I'm being provided with good training?
You mean you had to land on the freeway to figure out that you weren't getting good training? Come on. No, wake up, start taking some response. I mean, you have to laugh at this.
No, Your Honor.
Yeah, do you have to laugh at this?
Yeah, there's some things that are missing, though.
There are things that are missing there. One thing that are missing are your eyes. Just a second. One thing that are missing are your eyes. If you're a big enough boy to get behind the wheel of a plane and you're riding along and it starts to turn on empty, what you do is you pick up a phone and you say, help. You know, you don't fly until you fly all the way on empty. You know, how many of us have driven with our husbands and we say, it's on empty. Don't tell me it's on empty. I have plenty of gas.
But, Your Honor, there's clear violations here.
I suggest you stay on your bike. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $147. Counterclaim.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
There's two things I knew. I knew at what age I'm going to die, and I knew how I was going to die.
He flew over 10 airports where he had a chance to fuel. I also told him to fuel during the flight.
He reminded me about refueling in Santa Barbara. Before I left on my solo, he reminded me again to refuel in Santa Barbara. Duh.
I don't know. I mean, there's basically pirates in the sea. I never met a pirate in the sky before.
Beep beep.
আমার সামনে একটি সোহাগ পরিবহন আর একটা পূর্বাশা পরিবহন আছে। তো এতক্ষণ যাবৎ এই গাড়ি দুটার আমি পিছে পিছে আসতেছিলাম এবং এখন দেখা গেছে পূর্বাশা ওভারটেক করলো সোহাগরে। পূর্বাশা দেখেন ওভারটেক করেই কে টান শুরু করছে, ক্যামেরায় কতটুকু দেখা যাচ্ছে জানি না। আসলে দেখেন আমার স্পিড 80+, সামনে যে সোহাগ পরিবহন এবং পূর্বাশা পরিবহন আছে, দেখা যাক তো পূর্বাশাকে ধরতে পারি কিনা। সোহাগরে কিন্তু ধরে ফেলেছি অলরেডি, 100-2-3 আছে স্পিড, কিন্তু পূর্বাশার সামনে দিয়ে যে ধুলা উড়াইতে উড়াইতে যাইতেছে, জানি না পারবো কিনা। ও মাই গড, সামনে ট্রাক আছে, ওভারটেকিং করলেই তো ঝামেলা। সম্ভবত পূর্বাশাকে, ওই যে পূর্বাশা দেখা যায়। ও, চান্স পাওয়া গেছে। তো এই যে সেই কাঙ্ক্ষিত পূর্বাশা। না, পূর্বাশা তেমন স্পিড নাই। কত 80-র মতো আছে সম্ভবত। না, আমার স্পিড ধরেন 80-85-র মতো, 85-87 আছে, এরকমেরই আছে ধরেন পূর্বাশার। পরিবহন তো একটু টানবেই, না টানলে আর হয় না। তাইলে তো আর পরিবহন নাম হইল না, তাইলে তো নুকালি হয়ে গেল। এখন একটু বেশি আছে, 90+ স্পিড আছে এখন। বর্তমান হাইওয়ে রোডের আইন অনেক কঠিন হয়ে দাঁড়াইছে, এই জন্য পরিবহনওয়ালারা খুব সতর্ক হয়ে গেছে। বেপরোয়াভাবে গাড়ি খুবই কম চালায়। রিসেন্টলি এই শীতে, বিশেষ করে কুয়াশার মধ্যে অনেক সড়ক দুর্ঘটনা ঘটছে। কি একটা অবস্থা সামনে, হ্যাঁ। আর বিশেষ করে শীতের মৌসুমে সড়ক দুর্ঘটনাগুলি একটু বেশি ঘটে। মানে কি একটা অবস্থা, জ্যাম পড়ে গেল। কি একটা অবস্থা, এই বিড়ালটা কেমনে দৌড় দিছে, আল্লাহ বাঁচাইছে রে। আল্লাহ চাইলে অনেক বড় দুর্ঘটনা ঘটতে পারতো। সব কিছুর মালিক আল্লাহ রে। তো বরানের ভিতরে একটা বাড়িতে উঠছে, কি একটা কাম করছে। আসলে দেখেন আমার বাম পাশে অটো রয়েছে, ভ্যান রয়েছে, মানে আমি আসলে অটোগুলি ওভারটেক করতেছিলাম, মানে কিচ্ছু ফলো করে দেখা যায় নাই। মানে অফিস থেকে বিড়ালটা দৌড় দিয়ে আইছে, মানে ঠিকই পাওয়ার কথা না যে অফিস থেকে বিড়াল আসবে নাকি। যাই হোক, আল্লাহ চাইলে আরো বড় ধরনের কোনো কিছু ঘটতে পারতো। যাই হোক, সব কিছুর মালিক আল্লাহ। গোল্ডেন লাইন, শালা গো শালা। নে তো ব্যাগটা নে তো।
Beep, 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 beep.